what you do, you can never defeat me!
Hi, I'm Bobsto, the Elder Weeb,
And I'm Red, the bald headed wonder.
and you're watching the Anime
The
Boys.
Anime Boys!
Anime Boys, hell yeah!
Bobsto, what are
And
we watching today?
yeah, dude, we're continuing our epic psychic journey into Mob Psycho 100,
Hell yeah, we
and
are.
with the second season. And man, I'm really fucking stoked to talk about it because this
Dude,
was a really good season.
me too. This was insanity. This whole
Uh huh.
season was. The first of the season was a bit draggy. It had some very
Yeah.
good elements.
Even then, it went whole lot harder than the beginning of the first season did.
I
Like it
will
just it's
agree. Well, no, if you really think about it, it was just more composed.
yeah.
So like you had the first season where it was just instant chaotic energy everywhere.
Uh
And then on this one, you're actually starting to see this season really centers around the growth of Mob. And I
yeah.
really,
Oh
there's one
man.
thing about anime that I absolutely love, and it's character development. And they do it
Hmm.
so amazingly with every character
Uh-huh.
in this season. Just one
Yeah.
season, so much
It's
character
like
growth.
it's it's like the first season it started it doesn't the first season of the start of Mob's journey, he's very much a blank slate. But here we start seeing Mob going through a whole bunch of different changes. He is finally starting to grow, and like a lot of the stuff, like the stuff with the Body Improvement Club and all that, is starting to pay off.
It really is. Like you're starting to see his stamina grow. His energy is starting to come to him. He's starting to get
He,
more focused about himself. His
he's
confidence level is starting to boost. And then on top of
the
all that, the other characters are starting to get some more roundabout of Mob as well. They're starting to see that
uh,
production, that
uh
growth that Mob has.
yeah. Hmm. Especially one thing I've noticed as well. Mob's a lot more sassy in this season
It's not that he's
as
sassy. He's
well.
just
But not just sassy,
more
but it's just like he's more
aware.
like blunt.
He's
He's more
well,
like blunt towards certain
he's
things.
always blunt.
Yeah.
It's
Well, sorry,
just
it's like
in
even
this
more so now
one,
because now,
he's more, like I said, he's more confident in himself
yeah,
to say more
hmm,
things. Um,
yeah,
but he's always had
but
that blunt personality to him.
but anyways, we could talk a lot more about Mob's growth as we go through these episodes. It's really
Exactly.
easy to get stuck in a fucking tangent. I think this season, I was always I was really into Mob Psycho 100 when the first season came out. But when the second season started coming out and like the episodes started getting harder and like a lot more heavier, like I was like, damn, okay, no, I really love this series now. Like this is like one of my favorites.
Dude, yeah. It was
Um,
it this
to the
was
point where I think it, like I said, like I think it elevates itself slightly more above something like One Punch Man. Like I love One
well,
Punch Man, but
for
there's
me,
something about Mob Psycho that hits different.
yeah, for me, I would have to say Mob Psycho has really taken top 5 for me. And
Yeah.
that's hard for me to admit
Hmm.
because I'm very stuck on specific things.
Hmm.
Jujutsu Kaisen, I don't know why I have an obsession with it, but now I'm starting to become more inept and more centered around Mob Psycho. But
Yeah.
ever since we watched Jujutsu Kaisen, I've been getting more merch centered around it. I've been, mentioning it a lot more towards my friends. I see it, I get excited, and I'm starting to do the exact same thing with Mob Psycho.
Hell
Um,
yeah. That's about how I was when I first started watching Mob Psycho 100. I remember I was telling almost everybody I knew, it's like, hey, watch Mob Psycho 100. If you liked One Punch Man, watch Mob Psycho 100. It's based off a manga by the same dude.
yeah, it,
Just
it
watch it.
it's really really good, but we will describe exactly how good it is throughout this podcast. And season
Yeah.
2 hits in such a way that you will just not fully understand. unless you just go and
And
watch it. We're gonna give our
yep.
moments, our top hits, through the series or through the season that we just absolutely liked. Um, but we're not going to cut into detail just for the hoping that our fan base, the small fan base that we do have, will go and watch
Mhm.
this. And
I mean, hey,
oh,
we did get a new subscriber.
we did.
We
We
did
did
get
get a new subscriber, and
we're at 29 right now,
which is
and
sick. I'm so glad that we're
thank you.
starting. We're growing, and that's always fantastic.
Hmm.
Um, but let's get into it.
But anyways, before we hit episode one, if you haven't seen this series before, we highly suggest you watch it before watching this podcast. And if you like deep reflections, cool psychic powers, and middle school drama, then you will like Mob Psycho 100
Mob
season
Psycho
2.
100. Was that just complete ad lib? Did you just kind of come up
That
with
was
that
ad
on the
lib. I
spot?
kind of needed. I did. It's pretty
Nice,
good.
nice.
Hell yeah! All right,
But
so
let's get straight
time to get into.
into.
Let's just jump right into it.
Yeah, let's just start talking about how Batman started letting his super villains go.
Yeah, man. Alright, so alrighty. So episode one opens up kind of like how the first episode of season one opened up, where it's just an introduction on psychics. In
Yeah,
fact, I think it's like the same animation and
it
same
it
like
really is
dialogue
the
for this
exact
part.
same like character
Um,
lineup, like everything's exactly the same.
mhm.
So that we don't really have to describe, but it does shoot us
Yeah.
over to two very familiar faces. Um,
Uh-huh.
which is our boy Reagan, which I think me and Bobsto have grown to love in different ways.
The-
Um,
I mean, I've always loved Reagan. He's great.
but
Um,
and then you got our boy Mob, and of course his good
yeah,
friend Dimple. The dynamic
yeah.
the
So
dynamic trio.
the trio. So we got a farmer. He's having trouble with growing his crops. They think it might be some kind of evil spirit, and Reagan's brought in with Mob to try to take it out. And Reagan's only payment is he's like, "Yo, give me some vegetables."
He's like, I'm only here to work, but them cabbages.
Yeah, no, I want them
His
cabbages. I want them.
cabbages.
His, um, but here, we already get the first bit of Mob, the first like sort of sign of Mob's growth. That is, when Mob is called over, he's basically like, "I told you not to call me out of the blue."
He's like, I'm tired of you calling me out of the blue like this. I do have a life
Yeah.
outside of work.
Hmm.
So that's from square one. We start seeing the characteristic change of Mob. I really think he's just starting to go through puberty, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But puberty for a psychic, I could
Yeah.
imagine, is
Uh,
amplified times 10.
hmm.
I wouldn't even want to know what Mob is going through.
Hmm.
Um,
Uh, so they're going around, they're looking, and hey, it turns out, yeah, it is an evil spirit. It's a giant fucking root monster.
it's a fucking scarecrow. It's what it
It's a
is.
It's a giant ass scarecrow that gets Reagan in a little hentai situation.
But
Ties him, has him.
I don't know if you noticed this or not, and it's a good time to mention it. But
Yeah,
the hentai spirit, I call it the hentai spirit. Uh,
yeah.
the hentai spirit has Luffy's
Would you?
hat from One Piece.
Yeah, it's got a nice straw hat. The ever so elusive red banded straw hat that is surprisingly hard to find in real life.
Yeah, I
I can tell you
know.
how many times I've tried finding a straw hat with a red band around it, and I've just never been able to find it.
You could get the Amish to make you one, right?
I could, but I don't live near an Amish community, so
I do.
yeah, because you live out in the middle of nowhere.
I do not. I live right in the middle of
Hey,
town.
yeah, I know, I kid. But
I
anyways, this
kid,
spirit, this
I
kid.
kid.
Hell yeah.
But
But this spirit is not fucking around. It is fucking him up. Actually, would you like to know the name of
dude,
this evil spirit? It has a name.
I don't. I like the hentai spirit. I don't really want to be. I don't want to
His,
be
his,
bombarded by the real name of this fucking hentai
no.
monster.
I'm still gonna call him the hentai monster, but his real name is Ripple Ripple.
It's really what?
Wriggle, wriggle.
Wriggle Wriggle? That sounds like something in
Yes.
fucking Rick and Morty. What the shit?
Yeah. Yeah.
That-
Its name is Wriggle. That's the name of it. It's Wriggle, wriggle.
that's hilarious. Um,
Yeah. But
but
this fight's fucking
essentially, this
awesome.
fight is really cool, and
It
it's right
starts
off the
off
bat. Wow.
right off the bat. Um, it's fucking just all this shit's going on. Everyone's flying the fuck around. Mob gets fucking dragged underground, and it's just it's a good way to open up this season. It's a good way for them to flex off the increased budget that this season had.
I'm sorry, dude.
Uh,
Anyway, sorry, I got distracted for a
it's all
second.
good.
Dude, this fight was absolutely insane. I kind of zoned
Mhm.
out for a second. I do apologize.
Yeah.
This fight was really crazy because the way that Mob just completely took control of the situation.
Uh-huh.
You really get to see his growth as not only as a person but as an Esper in this season as well. And this was one of the examples. So
Mhm.
basically, what Mob did, and this was so freaking cool, he realized that the Esper or the sight or the spirit or whatever you want to call it was using he was flowing his spiritual energy inside of the roots in the ground to create a machine. So basically, he's just like a remote who is controlling
Yeah.
the roots. And Mob
Mhm.
figures this out like fucking split second, like MacGyver or something, and reverses the flow of the spirit's energy and takes control of the roots. And it turns into this giant flying in the air, wrapped in roots, fucking insane fight between Mob and a skull in the ground.
Yeah.
Absolutely freaking cool. Awesome tentacle fight. It was just the best fucking thing
A
ever.
typical fight.
Oh,
Hell
and
yeah.
the fact that the spirit subsided in a skull in the ground beneath a garden is just really
Mhm.
cool story wise as well. I really appreciated that with the
Yeah.
plot. So they just jumped out of the ground. He got really pissed off, and Mob just over flooded him with energy. Just that was it. That was how he defeated him. And it just once again it shows how insanely powerful Mob is. And it makes me beg the
Mhm.
question. And this is a very, overzealous question, but where would Mob fare with some of the higher members of anime? Characters.
Oh, but can he defeat Goku though? Can he fucking?
Honestly,
Can he
though,
fucking
if you get to thinking about it, I really think he could.
Depends on it always depends on which version because Goku's become such a ridiculous fucking
Power
character over the course
monster.
of like
Well,
Super
if you really think about it,
to the
Mob is
point where
too.
not to the point of Goku's like on sheer like almost borderline indestructible. Like
I guess, yeah. I mean,
it's
to a
bad.
degree. I mean,
The
he
power
did
creep, the power
die.
creep, the power
He's
creep. If we're talking about the power creep, yeah, that's
I,
you're talking about stuff in Z though. I'm talking about post Z.
I don't really. When it comes to Super,
Yeah,
I cannot
like
for the life of
it's
me count
it gets
Super. Uh,
it's like I said, I don't like counting Super, but if it's what most people
because
do
I'm an
count,
old-fashioned
I'm
Dragon Ball kind of
I
guy.
I'm the weirdo who prefers the original Dragon Ball over Z.
Okay, let's take Goku from Z. I like the original Dragon Ball too. I'm
That'd be
completely right there with you.
yeah
Take
yeah
take Mob and you take Goku from Z, the end of Z even.
yeah yeah that could be interesting.
That would
I
be an
would say.
insane
Um,
fight.
but when
But
most
we're
people
not
say,
here to
"Can you beat Goku?" It's when I hear to tell wax to talk about fucking power level shit.
Yeah, we're really
We're
not.
here to talk about Mob Cycle 100.
But we kind of got on a tangent. We're very sorry. We're
But
gonna do
dude,
this a lot with this one
they
because
they 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 beat they fucking beat the good old hentai monster.
Oh yeah.
But unfortunately, since he was tied to all the fucking crops, they lost their payment.
Well, no, they didn't. In a way, they still got their
Well, no,
payment.
no, they lost their vegetables, but in return, they got farm equipment and seeds.
Yeah, they really did. They got the seeds, and there was this really cool scene, and there's multiple like sections of this one really cool art that they used or transition that they used in the anime.
Ah, dude.
It's the old retro 8-bit video game style, and it looked so
Yeah.
cool. There was a scene whenever they
Mhm.
got back to the office with the payment with the seeds. He grows tomatoes and he makes Mob grow
Yeah.
the tomatoes. And he
Mhm.
tries it, and then it isn't good, but it cuts to a
Yeah.
transition scene to where he's walking away in an 8-bit form, and it goes on through most of
Uh-huh.
the anime for season 2.
It's really good.
It's so good. I
Um,
recommend going and seeing it like firsthand. It's really really good. Like, but then again, I would expect you to watch the entire thing. It is so good.
yeah, man.
Um.
Um, so we get it. We get, and this is where we get. I think this is when the opening starts to play as well. And dude, the fucking.
Yeah, it's really
Can we talk
crazy.
about the
Like,
fucking opening?
it's
like
nutty. Again, they
it's not
topped.
as it's not as all over the place as like fucking in your face
Well, no, like
as like the first opening
you gotta
is, but
think
this
they went from acid trip to
yeah
retro. They went from acid trip to
yeah
retro. And that's exactly what they
hmm
went. Literally, the characters inside of the intro were Lego characters, which is sick.
yeah
They were Lego versions
hmm
of themselves. I thought that was really fucking
yeah
neat. And that they went to show
uh
all of that through most of the intro. Except the one part where the domino effect of people were popping up.
yeah dude, that's really good.
It was
The
really
fucking
flowy.
the face block is really good. That shit reminded me kind of like some like Beatles shit
Oh, dude,
almost.
it was really good. But
um
uh,
the fucking, can we just talk about how it just opens with the fucking like just slapping bass solo?
dude,
It's fucking great. Yeah.
yeah, it was sick, dude.
Like
It was so
I
good.
love basses because they get so overlooked as an instrument.
Yeah.
But when you got like, when if someone can do a good fucking bass slap, it's really fucking good.
Oh, it
And this
really, really
whoever
is.
was in charge of doing the slap and bass for this opening did a
Hmm.
really good job.
So let's talk
Um,
about the return of school. I feel like at this point, a few
yeah,
months have passed from season 1. Because
months taller.
we really gotta get into like previous stuff. So like
Yeah.
Mob entirely is taller. His voice is
hmm
deeper in a sense.
hmm
He's more centered about himself. Reagan has a completely different outlook about himself as well, and towards Mob. I mean, everybody started to grow at this point, so I feel like after this has
Yeah.
been a few months of development between season 1 and season 2. Um,
hmm
but this episode basically starts off with the school paper lady trying to get Mob to run to be class president. And
Yeah.
because the former president quit because of his
hmm
wrongdoings from season 1.
Uh,
Um,
Interestingly, as well, he's cut his hair as well, which is
yeah,
a sign. Usually in anime and a lot of different media, a haircut is a sign of interpersonal growth
yeah,
and them trying to start a new beginning, basically.
new cut, new you, new do, new you.
New cut. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And
but let's talk about VeggieTale 1 and 2 returning. Uh,
yeah, man.
Sabomi, Sabomi. Did I say that right?
Tsubomi.
Sabomi. I said it. Sabomi.
Yeah.
Sabomi's friends, as we mentioned from the first season, when they
Uh,
pop up, Mob only sees them as pieces of vegetables. I don't know what it
yeah.
is about this anime and their references to vegetables,
Uh,
but it happens quite often. Like even from season 1, there's a lot of like veggie uh
yeah.
little cameos in it. And I think it's just really neat. But that's just a little
Yeah.
side tidbit.
Like the seasoning names for like the dish for everything is makes sense because the city they're within is called Seasoning City. So they got salt, middle school, black vinegar or stuff like that.
But
But the vegetables, I don't know. I think one for it might have been a similar thing to like there's Dragon Ball Z where you got like Vegeta and whatnot. And it's just literally um Toriyama listing off these different names and their leader being Frieza because he sees the fridge as being like the leader of the vegetables.
yeah.
Yeah, like I think it's like some maybe some similar like Toriyama-esque thought processes here.
Possibly, but that's
Maybe.
just it. That just tries to delve deeper into the mindset
Yeah,
of the manga artist
me-
or the manga
yeah.
creator, and I don't even want to
Mhm.
begin to try to do that.
Try to understand this weird man.
But basically, all this episode is
Yeah,
about is he goes to run for the president of the school,
yeah.
and epically fails, and he ends
Yeah,
up
dude.
finding a love interest.
Um,
Um,
yeah.
and we'll get into details in just a second. I just want to get over the
Mhm.
the basic
Yeah,
part
yeah.
of the episode. So basically, after he fails, he gets a love interest. A little girl comes and asks
Yeah.
him out, and
Yeah. Emmy is her name. And
Emmy, is it Emmy?
Emmy. Emmy.
Emmy. Okay, so Emmy,
Yeah.
little cunt. Uh,
Hey, 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 hey.
little Becky.
Only a
Bitch.
little. Only it's like a half Becky.
She is a full Becky until later. It doesn't even cover it
Okay, that's
in
that's that's a little better.
it doesn't even cover it in the first episode anyway. So, um, what were some like?
Dude.
But like in this episode, probably one of my favorite scenes was this epic training montage of
Yeah, dude.
just this epic fucking training montage of him getting ready and exercising and getting ready for the speech that he was going to give. And yeah, he had this entire thing that's completely figured out. The telepathy club is flabbergasted at the fact that he's actually trying to do this.
Yeah.
He gets in front of the entire school, gets up there and just instantly loses everything, every thought in his head. He went the entire speech, I think was a total of 10 to 15 minutes, not saying
just the silent.
a word.
Can we talk about how Ritsu and the vice president or of the student council are bros, and they're like, "Yo, Shinji, like even I know you did some horrible shit, but since you turned a new leaf, you should like just run again, like start anew."
Yeah, so like the president
Like,
that
that shit's really
gave up his position ran for the position again, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Also, you also need to talk a little bit about Misato trying to get that cult up for Mom.
yeah. So the whole point
because
of the reporter lady wanting Mom to do this was so that he could shine in this cult that she's following.
Yeah, because Mob's little cult it's getting big. It's starting to get a little bigger. They're gathering up at restaurants and writing about stuff. And it's starting to grow. And by the end of the series, they're fucking. We'll talk about it later, but damn, it's fucking cool.
But anyway,
yes, Mob fails horribly.
He does just horribly, and he finds this little girl who asks him out after school.
Yeah.
So the rest of the episode is just him going, which I think it is covered in this episode. So,
it is everything.
The whole, it really is because I got it in order. But, so she basically goes on a few what you would call middle school dates. Where he's just walking her home, they're talking. It's a little montage. This episode is full of montages. And
Mom's feeling good about himself. He's working better.
His whole mood changes. And nobody understands what's going on at all.
Dude, Masashi is an absolute fucking bro because whenever Bob first starts going out with her, he's like at the body improvement club and he's like, I don't know, like I don't want to miss out. And Masashi's like, no, you're gonna go out with her.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
he's like this like like again the Tomo Squad
The Tomo Squad is always
here
there for my
the
boy.
Tomo Squad is always stays true. They
Dude,
never change. They never fucking they are
speaking
undying
of,
loyalty.
I think the funniest
These
part in this episode with the Tomo Squad was whenever he went on stage before he just epically failed, and they were just,
yeah
yeah,
yeah
Kageyama.
dude they're there.
It was
Dude, I
sick.
fucking
They
love
blew
them.
up, but they're just like, hey, go do this. You got this. And so the
Yeah.
montage happens, and then Mob finds out that this girl only did it as a dare or a prank or something,
hmm
because
Yeah.
of all the little
She
girlfriends that she
she
has.
she lost. She's the Becky squad. We got the Tomo
And
squad, but here's the Becky squad.
the end of the episode pretty much ends in something I think Bobsto should share, because I think
Yeah.
he found
Okay.
more.
I
Does
yeah. I really want to talk about this thing because it's really fucking good. Okay. So basically, this girl, she likes writing. She's tried sharing. She shared this with Mob, but unfortunately, Mob is still like emotionally growing and does not know how to properly convey his feelings, and she also is like, well, what you're not even like understanding what's being written here. You're just saying these general things as if you don't really care about it. But that's not how Mob. That's not how Mob feels. It's just how he's not used to talking about how he feels about things with other people.
right
And that's where we find out that this girl only asked him out to because she lost a bet, and this causes Mob to start doing some serious reflections on himself. And then the Becky squad shows up, and they're fucking all
uh,
fucking mad dogging her in front of
stupid
Mob.
Becky squad.
She's trying. It's clearly affecting her, but she's trying to play it off like, oh no, it's not. It's fine. It's all good.
Right.
And they fucking rip up her work,
Her
like
novel.
her novel, right in front of her. And
Just
Mob, without
because
hesitation, just because they're like, oh, you won't care about it, so we might as well just rip it up.
stupid bitches.
And it's just, yeah, these stupid fucking hoes. These hoes.
These hoes ain't nothing but hoes and tricks.
Hell yeah. Um, but in Mob, the absolute bro he is, he starts picking up the pieces. And these I think it's like it weirds out the bullies so much that they just fucking turn into these weird fucking drawings and just walk away.
Dude, yeah, this is
and
crazy.
and then here's my favorite part as they're picking it up together. Emmy's feeling a little bad about herself and whatnot, and the wind starts to blow all the pages away, and you get
Again.
this beautiful shot
Oh
of
man,
Mob
it's
fixing the pages with his
so pretty.
powers, and it's so good. And she is like she's moved by this,
And I think this was
and it's
Bobsto's
just it's
favorite scene. Like, oh,
this is my favorite scene for the this cause like because I wasn't expecting when I was going into this season when I first started watching it back when it was airing.
mhm.
I wasn't expecting it to be a lot more emotional.
Dude, yeah,
I was so used. I was thinking, okay, it's gonna be more like antics with like Mob growing as a person, but I wasn't expecting it to actually go into these emotionally deep uh plot
yeah, it
points.
really does hit you like a brick. Cause,
Uh huh.
where Bobsto is explaining it, but essentially every episode has a reformation of Mob. Um,
hmm
every episode he is learning something new and applying that through each
Yeah.
episode, which is really, really awesome to show,
hmm
such an awesome, extraordinary person being normal.
Yeah.
I just think it's really, really cool.
hmm Like
But
I said,
go ahead, go ahead.
you can go ahead. I just said I always described it like this to people who watch like One Punch Man and stuff, and that is this series is full of what I call Moomin Rider moments. It's like a lot, especially these first few episodes. A lot of these fucking episodes hit like fuck. These early episodes, like towards the end, like there's still a lot of emotional beats, but almost all of these fucking first like 7 episodes hit like fucking bricks.
Dude, it's insane. It really does, man.
Hmm.
Sometimes you just be sitting there
Hmm.
like, wow, they really
Yeah,
just did this like
it
for
really
no
just like
reason. For no reason.
it's getting like really serious all of a sudden, and
Yeah,
it's really
like
good. It makes
it
for really
went from
compelling
being
storytelling.
what I appreciated about the season was it went from being chaotic nonsense
Yeah.
to interpersonal connections between every character.
Uh-huh.
They really
While
started taking
also
themselves
maintaining.
they really started taking themselves a
Mhm.
whole lot more seriously in this
Yeah.
anime. And I think because, in my own opinion, and this might be wrong, this might not be wrong, um, I think what happened was they just went for it in season one.
Yeah.
And
Well, that also you got
whenever
to
it
look
started getting
at how.
popular, I think he
Mhm.
really started taking it more seriously and started developing more growth within the storyline.
Oh, no, I just think that's just how the manga is like structured. Like at first, it starts the first few arcs. It starts off as this like about this kid who's wanting to try to grow and mixing it with ridiculous comedy and action. And then after that first like major arc with Ritsu is whenever he decided, all right, now we're gonna take things up a notch. We're gonna go like more deeply into Mob as a character and how he is starting to grow in the
Yeah.
thing and like all that
Well,
involved.
that's like I said, like the
Hmm.
first season and the first few arcs of the manga was them seeing how well it was going to go, and then when it started taking off, they really started piling it on. They really
Yeah.
started taking the whole thing seriously. It's just like
Well,
One
I
Punch
don't know about.
Man.
Okay. I don't quite know about that because like I said like a lot because usually with a lot of these stories like they're planned even before they pick up like
I don't
in
know.
terms of
Like I
popularity.
said, neither one of it's just my own opinion on how I
Yeah.
think they did
Hmm.
it. And there's a lot of animes and mangas that do that. I've actually like
Yeah.
they won't really put a lot of energy into it until it starts picking up. And with unless it's their baby, their very first masterpiece, and it's something that they carry on. And I understand that that happens. I'm not bashing on any manga creators or anything like that. I'm just talking about in general. People don't start getting more fluid with what they're doing and writing about until it starts picking up. Um, Manga wise. So I don't know. This is just my own
Uh,
opinion.
uh, I don't think I quite agree with it. But anyway, this fucking scene ends and the episode ends with Subomi saw the whole thing.
Oh yeah,
And I
Sabomi
think that's really
did. Yeah, she did see the whole thing.
that's I think that's like a really nice little end note for that episode. And it ends with Emmy sitting down at her apartment. And she's like, oh, she's thinking about ideas for her next story, and she's like, oh, a kid with psychic powers.
She ended up writing a
And
manga.
she is so as you probably saw in my little list, I have the king. I have her listed as King of the Lost Bets and as a metafiction author.
Oh my god, you do. See, this is why I wanted to wait on
she
it.
she I mean she basically is like she's like yeah, but what's it gonna be called? I'm gonna call it Mob Psycho 100.
But
Oh man.
anyway, we
But
really got.
anyways,
Let's
that's
move
episode
into yeah.
one.
We need to move into episode
Anyways,
two.
Reagan
Uh,
Reagan's fucking bored. And
yeah.
he's like,
Let's take a job.
let's go out and investigate. Let's take a job. Let's go out and investigate urban legends.
And they did.
And hell, you know what? They even bring up the fucking random ass Tsuchinoko thing at the very end of the first season when they're talking about the different urban legends and whatnot.
Yeah, I like how this was built
Uh,
up. Um,
uh-huh.
I
And
like
so
I said,
Reagan fucking goes out and they set up shop They sit down, and oh man, it's a fucking tiny table, tiny ass table.
Yeah. But Reagan finally meets his business rival,
Yeah,
Fat Zin, uh,
that good old fat Zenyatta,
which is
Zenata as I like to call him.
Finzada.
As you probably see also on the little thing in our Discord. The only thing I have him listed as is fat Zenyatta.
Dude, we could just call him Fin. Oh fuck! I had it in my head. Now
uh,
it's gone.
yeah,
Whatever.
damn. Yeah,
Finznada. That's
he
what I was
is.
gonna say.
He's part of a group of psychics. He's like, hey, you can't be here. I don't approve of this. Obviously shady business. And a fucking
And
client comes up, and he and Reagan are like fighting to try to take the
dude, they're
client.
just like in each other's faces, like just
Yeah.
interrupting in front of them. But they both end up taking this woman to a diner to sit down and explain the situation. And
Oh,
Reagan is trying to sell himself so well, which Reagan does
yeah.
perfectly at all times, all the time. Um,
Yeah.
but Reagan ends up getting excuse me. But Reagan ends up getting the job, and he drags what is his name? Shinra, his real name. He ends
His
up
name's
taking
Shinra.
he ends up taking Shinra with him, and he pretty much just blackmails him in a way to start
Yeah.
helping him with the fucking thing. So,
Dude, fucking. Can we just talk about Shinra for a second? When you talk about whenever Reagan talks about his rates, Shinra makes this fucking comment. It's like, I charge, like, you charge, like, way less than I do.
yeah, he's just like,
It's like,
really,
dude, this
dude?
guy fucking, like, he charges, I think, what he said, like, what, fucking almost 100,000
It
yen or
was
something like that.
triple what
It's like 200,000 or something. It's like fucking stupid.
he says. It starts out at 100,000, but for this type of
Yeah.
job, it runs up to like 3 or 4. And I'm like,
That's like, yeah, it's like,
jeez,
yeah, dude.
Louise.
I like to appreciate this little scene in the diner where Bob is just chowing on fucking
Yeah, he's
fries.
just kind of sitting
And
there eating
Reagan,
fries.
and Reagan is looking out for Bob. It's like, don't eat too many.
He's like, I use this to ward off evil spirits.
Yeah. Can we talk about? Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, he's like, yeah. And in case an evil spirit comes here, that's why I ordered salted
Dude,
fries.
dude, it's so funny.
Is I love how no matter what, Reagan always keeps up his act of his fucking spirit medium bullshit.
Dude, he really does. It's so
It's he
crazy.
is he's the most dedicated to the bit as he
Man,
could possibly be.
he is what
Um,
you would
can we talk?
call a damn, I forgot the word, but damn it. What's the word I'm looking for? A liar, but like all the time. Like,
Ah, shit, I don't fucking
you know what
know.
I'm talking about, though.
I
God
know what you're
dang
talking
it.
about.
But
What I do know
anyway,
is Mob's rocking a really nice turtleneck.
he is. He's rocking a lot of things in this anime,
He's got that turtleneck and chain.
dude. He killing it.
Yeah,
He pimping.
man.
Uh,
Yeah, he's got the drip.
but after all this goes down, Mob understands that there's something very very wrong with the town. It's very very
Yeah,
serious, and it cuts over to Zen being a big fucking pervert.
yeah. Yeah, man.
He's
Yeah, it's
just
fucking. So it's like Reagan and Bob hit up an internet cafe instead of asking locals because it's like, well, we just look fucking weird going up to ask children. And what does fucking Zen do? Fucking Shinra, the fucking dumbass. He
straight
goes to
up to
kid.
children. But
Yeah,
it led to a very promising
yeah, man.
issue, which is
Because he's looking for the red raincoat. This is urban legend of like a weird spirit that appears to kids
I called him Red
and
Robin.
Red Rush. Yum.
Yum.
And it turns out, oh shit, the fucking red raincoat, he's here, he's real.
But he's a fucking
And
flasher.
It's just a flasher.
He just runs around and shows little children his fucking shit.
Yeah,
And
dude.
it cuts to yet another retro Street Fighter video game reference to where
It's a fucking Street Fighter fight. It's great.
Zen,
They
Zen
even has the fucking pre-fight dialogue.
dude, it's really, really good. Like it was just I love these little like tidbit video game scenes. But it shows them two fighting for a while and Zen's kicking that ass. He's just stomping his tits
Yeah.
in. And then all of a sudden he cheats. Or not Zen cheats, but Red Robin cheats. And what did he do? I can't remember exactly. He just ran away, and he was super fast.
He just ran because he's like, yo, I was on the fucking track team, fat ass.
He really did.
Yeah.
He said,
He just fucking
I was on the
fleed.
track team, fat ass, and then runs away. And but
Yeah.
it cuts over to back over to Reagan and Mom. I like the back and forth that they used in the anime, but at this point, I
Yeah.
think Mob had Dimple going with just
Yeah,
kind of
he,
shadowing.
Actually, Reagan sent Dimple to just sort of shadow.
That's right, he did.
Shadow Shinra just in case he comes across anything serious.
Right, but Mob
Because Shinra,
he
even though
didn't want
Shinra's a
to at
psychic,
first.
yeah.
Yeah, he didn't want to at
'Cause even though-
first, but Mob said, "You can do it. I trust you."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Dimple, being the Chad in disguise that he is,
Mm-hmm.
he listens to him, but he
If
runs
he
off
didn't
with
listen to
him.
Mob could just fucking kill him.
Yeah, Mob really could just
Listen, like
at
Mob could
any
just fucking
point.
kill him. Like he's at Mob's mercy.
I mean, he could do it at any
Um,
point in time. Just
Uh-huh.
dead. He's done. He's gone.
But anyways, Reagan and Mob find their human-faced dog. And it turns out it's just some shitty kids drew marker on a dog's face.
And Reagan had to whoop that ass too.
Dude,
Reagan
he's
whooped
like-
them kids'
fucking
ass,
whooped them.
dude.
Yeah,
Just straight up whooped them, dude.
Mhm.
But it cuts to a little scene of them washing the dog and
Yeah.
back over to Fat Zen. And Fat Zen, I keep calling him Fat Zen now, but Shinra,
He's just
he actually tracks down Redcoat, and
yeah.
he's just in the middle of the woods, and he's like, "Yeah, I found you. I can keep up with you." And but little did he know, Red Robin was carrying those 10,000 volts to the nips.
Yeah, man, he's got that Stomp baton. He's like, yo, you might be psychic, but can you fucking take 1,000 volts of electricity?
He really did, dude. He took
But this dude's
1.21 gigawatts.
Yeah, this
to the
this
fucking
dude's getting
nipples.
one hell. This dude's getting one hell of a fucking power trip from it too.
Dude, he
Because
really
he's
is.
basically like, no one knew who I was until I put on that raincoat, and now they all fear me.
But as he's
He's
going
like,
on
yeah,
his personal monologue, the Draugr shows up.
The dragger,
Dragger, whatever.
Draugger's
They
what
call
call
it
the-
they call it Draugr in the anime.
No, they say it's the dragger because she drags you.
Whatever. Anyway, the Dragger pops out, and this is really funny. I put in here, I said Orochimaru's sister had to clap them red cheeks.
Yeah. Dude, she fucking drags it. They really like showing ass shots. This dude.
They do. It's so
This dude.
gross. And he had the hairiest ass ever.
He doesn't look like he doesn't look like a very hairy dude. But damn, that fucking ass.
But let's talk about this woman's fucking really cool doll whip. It was sick, dude. She used it as a whip. And she wrapped it around the red coat, knocked him out, and she was going to drag him into the water. Well, the lake, whatever. And but Fat Zen pops back into action, and then you realize
Yeah,
that Dimple is really just overtaking him. And
yeah.
we get this really
Uh,
awesome
there's-
fucking fight scene.
dude, this fucking the dragger is really fucking strong.
Yeah, it
This
really
fucking
is.
thing.
Oh my gosh, it's insane.
And I like the whole thing that gets brought up with the dragger where it's she's not a regular evil spirit. She is something manifested from the fears of the public.
Yeah, this
Like
was
so many
really neat.
people, yeah, like she is so she became so feared over the internet and throughout urban legends and whatnot that that fear manifested into a like took like a physical form.
And if you're having a hard time understanding what we're talking about, it's literally the story of It, the clown. If anybody
Yeah,
understands It, the clown,
it's like
he only exists off of fear of the town. That's how he lives,
uh,
is through fear. And that's how the dragger is powers are
it's like
boosted.
that. Curses from Jujutsu Kaisen's a good parallel.
But
It's an idea that's common in a lot of media and especially like horror stories and whatnot of something that's manifested from negative emotions and fear.
yeah. But we
But
get
it's really
this.
fucking good. This fucking fight, it's fucking crazy.
It is like second episode in, it just gets insane.
It's it's
Dimple is
rainy
using.
forest.
I never knew Dimple could do that with bodies.
Yeah.
Just have the ability to
Hmm.
do that with whatever he decided like to do it with.
Yeah.
He makes this dude do like quadruple flips off trees. He pulls off fucking ninja
Yeah, dude.
shit, and ends up accidentally fucking up his Achilles heel. Tendon. I
Yeah.
didn't mean to say heel. Tendon. But right
Hmm.
when he comes in comes Mob with his "I don't
Yeah,
give a
dude.
fuck" attitude. Mob
Yeah.
don't give a fuck.
Reagan also fears the dragger. Like he
Yeah, but
is
because
shit fucking
they grew
she's
up with
scared.
the
Yeah.
urban legend, but Mob didn't. So Mob
Yeah.
didn't give a fuck,
Uh-huh.
and he Kamehameha'd the bitch. And
Dude, can we talk about how the dragger pulls a damn does a fucking domain expansion?
she does. There's a lot of things that happen with domain expansion in this
Yeah.
one. But yeah,
Yeah.
domain expansion.
She
She literally just
she
floods up the entire forest with
yeah.
water, and she uses
Which
it to
one
her
is really
advantage.
fucking horrifying.
Oh my god! Whenever she
Yeah,
transforms
dude.
into a more like powerful version of herself, that looks insane. Like it looks really, really
It
good.
does. Everything
Um,
involving the dragger looks really fucking good.
but
Um
essentially,
Mob
Mob fucked
Mob
her
fucks it up.
up as always. Um,
Because he's like, yo, I never heard of you, bitch. I don't dragger? Who's that?
but at the end of the fight scene, and they're starting to walk off, we get to see Red Robin again. But in my notes, I said Red Robin got his cheeks clapped and then thrown to the curb.
Oh yeah.
But
Dude,
we
the,
get to
the the
see,
overcast of clouds looks really nice as well as like the rain starts to lift.
yeah, like you could see the
It
spirit was
looks
actually just absolved. Um,
yeah.
just completely done with, like a brand new day. Everybody moves on about their lives, and they move on to the next urban legend, which is more of like a spoof than anything for the end of the to take away the tension
Yeah,
of the
man.
episode,
They, they,
which was
they're
really
like, yo,
nice.
let's look into Dash Granny.
Dash
Apparently it's
Granny.
like apparently it's just like in Serbian legend in this tunnel at night. This old lady who's really fast will chase you, and if she catches you, she'll fucking like strangle you.
Yeah, and
And they go in,
they go into the
and I
tunnel.
swear it's the same. I swear it's the same tunnel from the second
I
episode
was thinking the same thing,
in
dude. I
first
had that
episode.
written down. I thought it was.
It looks very
Um,
similar.
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it
Hmm.
is. But it was never explained. So
Yeah, if
maybe they just
anybody's
reused some of their panels, which
maybe I
isn't
don't know.
terrible. But
But either way, they find Dash Granny. And yeah, this fucking lady's fast. This
dude,
is some fucking Flash level shit, dude.
Mob got whooped by an old lady. She
Yeah,
just passed through this dude,
I like.
and this Mob doesn't get
Mhm.
phased by anything other than this old lady, and it's because she beat him at a race.
Yeah, I like how the tension set in the scene at first because like he's like, oh shit, my powers aren't working against her. What's up with this?
Dude, it's like she's so powerful that I
She's so
can't even do
powerful.
anything to her. And
It
it
just
turns
turns into
out just
it's just
being
a
an old
jogger.
lady jogging. And she's
Yeah,
fucking fast.
she's fucking
But
killing it.
we do
I
get
think
to see. Go ahead.
she'd probably give the fucking Body Improvement Club a run for their money.
I think that she would whoop the Body Improvement
She
Club.
whoops them.
God, dude, are you kidding me? I think that she could
Yeah,
body slam the captain. Like that's how fucking
yeah.
crazy this lady was. But we do get to take a look at the new ending of really, really pretty outro, dude.
Dude, it's really good.
I like the little like Tamagotchi style that they use.
Yeah, it's like a
Um,
chibi style almost.
Chibi Tamagotchi, like it looks really cool. It looks really
Hmm.
smooth, really pretty. Um, just all around, just I really liked the outro. I mean, nothing
Dude,
like
we actually there's one thing actually I realized we didn't get to mention. That's the cool ass fucking ad break transitions.
huh?
So the ad break, so you know there's those transitions where it says Mobs like 100, it's like a manga style drawing
Oh,
of
I
the
do
scene.
have this. I do
Those
have
are
this written
those are the
down.
those would be the if you're watching the broadcast, those would be the ad transition,
Yeah.
and they look all of them look fucking sick. And I know there's a
It
couple of them I'm gonna fucking talk about because they're really interesting.
it is really really good. I didn't just
Hmm.
take notes on them, but they are
There's
interesting.
no some of them there's nothing much, but there's a couple of them that are really good.
Yeah, like that
Um,
first one was pretty neat.
the first one was good. When we get into one of the other episodes, I'll bring it up. But
I'd have to
yeah,
say one of the
so
later episodes. I think you know which one I'm talking about in
yeah.
particular that I really really loved. And I
Hmm.
think I got it written down, but I'm not real sure. But
Alrighty. Well, anyways, the episode ends with Mob being devastated, and Reagan decides, you know what, this internet stuff's working out pretty well, so I'm going to start a website to boost business.
yeah, and so
And
Reagan got a new website. This leads us into episode
to
3.
episode 3,
And
um, and man, this website is attracting a bunch of fucking
dude,
weirdos.
so basically what this episode is, and I don't know if you noticed, Bob, so I'm just trying to get just an overview, and then we'll talk about details.
Yeah,
So basically what it is that Reagan is getting a lot more attention on the website, and is picking up a lot of really fucking big weirdos. So I think
yeah,
in
man.
this one we get a total of 3 different stories.
Yeah,
Or is it 2?
it's like 3.
Yeah, I think it was the
So
one was the lady, 2 was the no,
this is the guy who wants Reagan to curse another person.
yeah, okay, so that was the first one, then
That's the first
yeah,
one.
and then the
You got
lady,
the lady who's being stalked, and then the
then the
teenagers.
teenagers, fucking idiots. But
Yeah.
given that,
So
let's get into it. Some of our favorite little
okay,
tidbits.
okay. So I guess we'll start off with sort of each little thing. So we start off with a guy who wants to send who wants to curse another person,
Yeah, that's
and
literally all it is. He comes in, he
and
asks Reagan to curse a man from
and,
a picture.
and Reagan is like, why would Reagan's like baffled. He's like, why would someone? What would it take for someone to hate someone so much that they want to curse them?
Yeah, so like he's just kind of like, this is stupid. So he comes up with this really fucking dumbass way of getting rid
Uh,
of the guy.
uh
Uh,
and then yeah,
Mob, he's just like, you probably shouldn't have lied to the guy. He just freaks Reagan
yeah.
out. He literally psychs
Yeah,
him
no.
out.
So this is one of like this is the beginning of a small buildup
Oh
within
yes.
this episode. And Mob is worried. So it starts off with this, like, Mob is worried that the guy is going to obsess over the fact he's able to curse someone, regardless of if he knows he did or not.
Yeah, and then it's
And
that
Mob is
power's gonna
worried what that
grow,
might do to a person. That power is going to grow.
and it might actually turn out being true, and that he just cursed
Yeah, and
somebody.
that's such an interesting observation for Mob. Like I wouldn't have thought. Like Reagan didn't think about it. I wouldn't have thought about it. But like Mob, like put some serious thought into
Well, see, like this
this,
episode
and
is
even
just Mob thinking about certain
yeah,
situations and
he's
issues.
he's questioning certain things. So we get to our second story where there's a woman who's being haunted. Apparently some weird spirit is appearing outside her window, and she's on like the fifth story.
Yeah, this one's like really funny to
Um,
me.
Man, dude, poor fucking I feel bad for Dimple. They sent him outside the window to investigate, and they just shut him out.
That was so
They closed
rude.
the fucking window on him.
Well, Reagan did anyway. Reagan's such a
Yeah,
douche
Reagan.
nugget sometimes, man.
Yeah, dude.
But he punches him out the window, and I mean, to
Yeah,
be fair, Dimple could have just went back through the window. I
he
mean,
could have went through.
he just kind of made it a big deal for no reason.
Man. Well, I
But
mean, hey, it's just rude, you know. You know, he could do that, but at the same time, you know, common courtesy. Even Dimples wants a little courtesy.
But they
Um,
find out that the guy that's been peeking into the fifth story window on this lady was just another Esper who was astral
yeah,
projecting his body outside of her window to look in and see her. And he was very
yeah.
obsessed with the lady.
Dude,
But
this guy's fucked.
yeah, this dude is like off his
This
fucking
he's fucked.
rocker. Like,
Like when they fucking opened that door to see him, he's like mumbling to himself at first, and he becomes extremely agitated,
yeah, like he's
and it's
mumbling
just
to himself
fucked.
saying, "Hey, I never would do something like that." And they
I
didn't even ask him any
never.
questions.
Yeah.
Uh, he's like, "I would never do something like that. Me looking at some lady through the
Hmm.
window? How would I even do that? I live over
No, I don't do
here. You're
that.
crazy, man." And then he's like,
Yeah.
"You know what? I love her, and you won't get in my way. I'll kill
Yeah.
you."
Dude, he fucking jumps up on fucking Reagan. Dude, Reagan fucking deals with him like a
Dude, Reagan
boss.
just fucking like goes into goddamn just
Yeah, dude.
like full like police mode. I don't even get it how Reagan is
Uh-huh.
so good at things sometimes. Um,
Uh-huh.
but Reagan like
And
pins him down, arm behind the back, and he's just going on a huge spiel. This other guy going on a
yeah.
huge spiel about how he will make her his and how he'll never stop loving her. Just this all of this crazy stuff, and then Mob
Hmm.
starts to express what he's actually thinking again. What makes him any different than anybody else or any other Esper? Um,
Yeah.
and why are we looking so bad onto one guy where someone else could be exactly the same? You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So Mob's got
Yeah.
all these like weird thoughts going through his head through the episode,
Uh-huh.
and but that moves us
And
into
the final
the final
story.
one, which this is the good one.
This is the one. This is where it all that build up reaches its fucking the climax point.
Yeah. So they bump
Oh man.
into I don't know what was going through my
There
head,
there yeah.
but
So what was going through your head?
um they I really don't get how this even correlates, but I put in here, I was like they bumped into Jesse's crew. I don't
I
even
understand
know.
the sentiment.
Oh, I guess like I was thinking
They
Jesse's girl song, but
the
like the crew.
no, I think you're thinking of like Breaking Bad.
That's exactly what I was
Yeah,
going for.
Jesse's
Oh
crew of chuckle
shit.
fucks. You
That's
know,
ex-
fucking Badger,
Dude,
Skinny Pete. Yeah,
that's exactly what the fuck I was going for. I don't even know
yeah,
how I forgot about that. But yeah, that's exactly what I
yeah,
was
dude.
going for. That was
Yeah.
Jesse's crew.
Um, yeah,
Um
but I don't know. That Jesse's crew are fucking dumb, but like I don't know. These people are fucking chuckle fucks.
dude, they're just fucking idiots.
They
So
are fucking. Just,
they drive
uh,
basically what they want Reagan and Mob to do is to come with them to monitor them and take a picture for them at a creepy shack. That's all they want. Is a picture at a
yeah, they're
creepy
wanting to take a
shack.
spirit. They're wanting to take a spirit photo as like
And
a
yeah,
graduation thing.
so they load up, they get to the creepy shack. Mob senses something around, but he doesn't say anything. They take a picture,
Yeah,
and Reagan expects payment, but the Chuckle Fucks, as Bob Stowe put them,
yeah.
the Chuckle Fucks get
You got
mad
Tweedledee, Tweedledum, and
and Tweedle.
Tweedledummer.
I was gonna say Tweedledet, but
Tweedledee.
um, but anyway, they get mad because Reagan expected payment, even though that was the
Yeah.
whole
They're
point of
like,
it.
oh, there's nothing in this photo. It's just a regular picture. We're not
And
gonna pay you.
yeah, and then they ditched them like in the middle of fucking
Yeah.
nowhere. So they had to. Oh, I did write this one down. This is one of the ones I really like. They got a really cool transition of them hitchhiking and getting in a
Yeah, and then
truck.
getting a ride.
Dude, that
That's really good. I
transition was
fucking love
really
that.
smooth and
Like I
pretty.
said, I love how almost all of them are like the drawings of Mob and Reagan look like their versions in the manga.
Yeah, and it
I
correlates with
really
what the
appreciate
story
it
is
with
going
what's
on.
going on. What I like as well is like it's like it trans like it's telling like a scene into like images basically.
Yeah, pretty
And it's
much.
really cool. That's what I like about these transitions is a lot of them do that.
But
Um, so you know, next day, Bob's getting confronted by some bullies.
yeah, which I thought this was kind of weird, but then I
Yeah.
understood the point whenever the other ones come
Uh-huh.
in. But he starts
Yeah.
getting confronted by bullies, and Mob just doesn't get it. I just he doesn't understand the concept of
Yeah,
bullying, which is
they are trying to rob him, especially it's a robbery. They're trying to like mug him for his money.
yeah. I mean, essentially, it's just a bully trying to get your lunch money.
Yeah,
And
and then one of the
fucking
I
Mob
don't know
or
if you wrote this, but I said one of them gets the fucking SpongeBob vibration treatment because he starts fucking vibrating
Dude,
violently.
it's crazy. It's because of Dimple being
Dimple.
inside of his body. He like,
Yeah,
and then like he starts stripping his clothes off, like
yeah.
humiliating him. And dude, the tenacity of this fucking bully is insane.
Dude, his fucking friend is great too. He's like, dude, what's wrong with you, man?
He's like, he was really there for his friend. He's just like, what's wrong
His
with you,
way,
dude?
he was there. He was there for his friend.
But
And
Dimple
then
comes out
fucking
because
Ritsu
Mom's just
comes up.
like, no, don't do it. It's okay, Dimple. And he confronts Mob again. He's like, let's try this again. And then Ritsu shows up and
And just fucking strangles him.
just strangles the man with his fucking Darth Vader energy. And
Yeah, dude.
then all of a sudden, he makes him stop. And then he goes to confront Mob again. After all this shit, you think, oh, maybe I shouldn't fuck with this guy. Maybe I should not fuck with this guy.
Hmm.
But no, the bully's stupid. And in comes the Tomo squad.
Yeah,
He gives
the
him
worst
a
people you could
pect.
run into.
Look, this man got the pectoral gas chamber. Like
Yeah, dude.
he just got squished in between all
Yeah,
of the
dude.
pecs of every member
Yeah,
of the
man.
Tomo squad.
Yeah, dude.
And
It's
just he
fucking
had
great.
finally had it. His friend carried him off into the distance, saying, "We'll
Yeah,
come
dude.
back. We'll get you next time." Blah, blah, blah. And basically, the Tomo squad just says, "Fuck you. Next time, you got it
Yeah.
yourself."
Yeah, yeah. Tingo specifically, it's like Mob. You really need to learn how to do it, like defend yourself.
Yeah, like all of the members of the Tomo
Yeah.
squad, which was
Uh,
surprising to
it's
me.
like well, because
That
like they're
was
not always going to be there for him.
well, yeah,
So
I get the
like
reason
they're
why,
yeah.
but it just kind of threw me off that they said it.
Hmm.
But that just, like I said, character development. It's fantastic.
All right.
Um,
So
but this episode gets even better with the Chuckle Fucks getting scared.
the Chucklefucks come back because there is actually a ghost that appeared in their photo,
Oh yeah, and they're all
and
scared.
they
They're
just
like, "We'll
fucking
pay
go
you this
back up.
time. We'll pay you this time. Just get rid of it."
Just get rid of them.
And so they
And this
drive
is probably one of my favorite.
all the way back to the crazy, stupid shack. This was
Uh,
a really, really awesome scene, and I'll let you describe
dude,
this one.
I fucking love it. So this isn't. I won't say this is my absolute favorite one. That's one of the later ones. But
While you describe
this is
this,
like a
I'm gonna
close
go grab a
second.
beer. I'll be right back.
This okay. This is a close second. All right. So the students come back to Reagan, because they saw a ghost in their photo, and they drive back up the whole like 2, maybe 3 hours of a drive that it takes to get to this place. And they get there, and the spirits show up. And it turns out it's not just any evil spirits, but it's a family who didn't get to spend very much time alive together. And so, as their like unfinished business, they lingered on his spirit so they can spend a few years, like as long as they would like to, as a family. And the father is pleading is pleading Mob to not exercise them, and it is good. It's heavy. It's really good. It's really good. It's a scene that really is really tense. It
It's really,
really
really,
shook.
really good.
It really fucking it fucking when I first watched it, it fucking shook me because I wasn't expecting this shit to start getting heavy. Sadly, Reagan can't hear a single word they're saying because he can't detect them.
Because he's stupid.
And
It's,
mhm. And the fucking students are fucking. I have it written down specifically. The students are fucking stepping in as well because they're freaked out over a spot they probably will never go to again. They're like, "You'll get rid of it," even though like they're never going to go there again.
yeah, pretty
And even
much.
at
And
this
it's
at this point,
stupid.
Reagan is even conflicted on like if Mob is hesitating, there's probably a reason why.
Yeah. So
Like, Mob is freaked out.
Mob is literally shaking and crying.
Yeah, yeah, because you literally have a family saying, "Don't kill us. We want to spend time together." Because
And
we didn't get to do it that much before we died,
and
and
Dimple, oh my god.
mhm.
Dimple starts
Dimple,
being the bug in the
yeah,
spirit's ear.
yeah, he's trying to see if he can actually influence the father to turn evil.
But
And at
the
first,
father's
it
it's
seems like it's
working.
working, but he then just stops, and he's like, "Because I can't bring myself to kill you in front of my family."
Yeah, I can't do this in
And
front of
that,
my family, which was
and he,
insanely cool.
and he is like, I can't do much. I am at your mercy.
Yeah,
I hope you will spare us, but I can't do much if you decide not to.
right. Which is
And Mog
awesome.
is fucking pale. Like he is because this is a heavy fucking situation to place on a fucking middle schooler, and it is a fucked situation. Like fuck the fucking trolley problem. Here's your fucking ghost family problem.
Dude, it's super good. So essentially Reagan just says it's time to go. Reagan said no, no
Yeah.
more. He's just
So
like, nah.
X isn't done. He did it. They're gone
And
now.
the teenager's like, no, they're not. You didn't do anything. And Reagan said, they're gone. Like his fucking whole mentality changed.
Yeah.
And it's because of Mob. And this is one other
Yeah.
thing that really makes me appreciate Reagan, which in turn makes me hate him in later episodes.
Mhm.
But we'll get into that. And but anyway, they ended up saving the
He,
family. They come back, and we get this really cool like end of episode like little tiny scene of Reagan having a curse on his back,
yeah.
and Dimple got to have a really spicy noodle.
He got to eat that cursed spaghetti.
Mm-hmm. But
Spicy meatball.
anyway,
But there's some really good some good things that Vanessa put down as Reagan starts to realize that Mob sees spirits differently because they're part of his daily life.
yeah.
And that's such a good fucking thing. Also, I love that he shuts those fucking chuckle fucks up with the salt splash.
Oh yeah.
He
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 really
hits them with
does.
that. Yeah, it's like fuck off. We're done here.
Yeah.
And then the
But
episode ends with Mob in his bath, taking a bath, contemplating that if he were to ever use if he were to ever use his powers for evil, would there be even be anyone there to stop him from doing that?
right. So basically
And
Mob is
it's
having an early life crisis.
yeah, and it's such a good thing because like you wouldn't expect him to like really think about or even to like touch that idea,
Right.
but they do.
It
It's really fucking
is.
interesting and good.
But
It's just really good.
that
So,
brings
anyways,
us into episode
episode 4,
4. This is where
Dimple Lore.
shit starts.
Dimple Lore.
I have this written down too. Dimple lore, like
We
exclamation
get
point. Dimple lore.
yeah,
This
dude.
is the episode where shit starts to break
Oh man,
down.
damn.
Oh, so in this episode, Mob meets a new foe, a foe of
Yeah,
such a high caliber that not even Mob can break him
yeah,
down.
yeah, man.
And but essentially that's what it is.
Yeah,
But
I love the build up in this episode to it,
dude, this is
um,
insane. Well,
because
starting off with the Dimple lore, Dimple
yeah,
actually knows this person.
yeah. And so that's
And
why like it's like you get a foreshadowing to who this person. Like it's like oh, someone's hunting down Dimple in this scene.
yeah, which is
Who is it?
cool. We don't get to see a whole lot of Dimple, but we finally get to see
Yeah.
some backstory, which is really awesome.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so it starts off a normal day in the office. And it turns out that this client that wants Mob and Reagan to take a job is fucking stacked. He
Yeah,
is fucking rich.
he
And
is.
it's none other than, as you'd say, Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury joins the party.
It seems I didn't know he got resurrected. I didn't know he fucked a woman.
But essentially, technically, Freddie did fuck a woman before he found out he
Yeah,
was gay.
but
He had a
but
wife.
this yeah, but you know what I mean. This would be way past his time. Is
Yeah,
his fucking death?
this
Like this
version of
the
Freddie
decade would be
Mercury was
old.
gay. This was AIDS version
Yeah,
of Freddie Mercury. uh, sorry.
but
Um,
damn.
but
But yeah.
that was in bad. Was that
Uh.
bad taste? Is it too soon for Freddie
Ow.
Mercury AIDS
Ow.
jokes? Uh,
Dude, it's been like 30, almost 40 years, dude.
it's crazy. But
But
basically,
anyways,
he hires
we meet Shimmer.
dozens of psychics.
Yeah, dude. It's kind of like Hunter x Hunter with the Green Island shit.
Yeah, it
They
really,
get a
really
bunch of
is.
fucking people. Um, and we get to meet Shinra's boss, Master Jodo,
Oh my gosh, yeah, Master
and
Jodo.
this fucking guy,
He's like a
this
pervert
creepy
on
ass old
drugs. Like
man,
I can't do it. Like I don't
this
like the
fucker,
guy. I can't
this
grow to like
motherfucker.
this man.
He is
Um,
absolutely loathsome. He's a fucking asshole.
he is 100% a
He's a
dickhead.
dick. Especially later on in the season, he's a fucking asshole. So it turns out the client's daughter is possessed,
Yeah,
and he's hired a bunch of these psychics to try to exorcise the spirit. Whoever can't does exorcise the spirit
gets a
will be
ton of
paid
cash.
handsomely. They get a ton of fucking cash, and we got this cool thing where it shows the room she's being held in, it's in like a double-sided mirror, and she's chained to a bed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Bob, I love this. Is Reagan's like, if we pull this off, Bob, you're gonna get a raise.
And
and,
Dimple's
and
little
Bob's excited.
he's like, "Ooh, I've never got a bonus before."
Uh huh.
And Reagan or no, Dimple's just like, "Yeah, right. He's hardly ever paid you anyway."
Yeah, dude.
But
Um.
we get a little familiar face. Cum Jar's back in the party. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. He's there. He's chilling.
Poison Jar is what I really like to call him, but
Nah,
um,
it's the cum jar. Come
it
on,
is
man.
the Cum Jar. But
It is.
I do refer to him as the Poison Jar. I call him Poison Jar.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
kind of pops back
Matsuo's
up. He's in the
back.
background the entire episode, but Reagan says, "Okay, well, let's do it." And then it sparks up a huge ordeal. Like, hey, I was here first.
Yeah.
So everybody decides to decide the winner with a game of
Rock,
rock,
paper,
paper,
scissors.
scissors,
Dude, I
where
don't know why Japan is so fucking obsessed with rock, paper, scissors.
it's not called rock, paper, scissors, though. It's called
It's Jonkin.
Jockin.
It's basically the Japanese equivalent of rock, paper, scissors, but it's usually referred to as Jonkin.
But in it goes, they say it
Um,
in a different way. What is it? It's
they do.
it doesn't matter. It's
Let me
really not
see.
that important.
Let's see. But yeah,
They're playing rock paper scissors, and of course, Reagan fucking wins.
Reagan's a fucking rock, paper, scissors monster.
Dude, he's an everything monster. This man is so
'Cause, dude,
multi-talented that you just don't know what to do. Like,
Well, it's like he's on his bullshit because he's talking about what his move is gonna be, and it's throwing everybody off.
it is. It's man, this
It's
is
just like,
so crazy. Like,
maybe I should use rock. No, no, no. I think I'm gonna do scissors.
dude, he's just throwing everybody
It's
off
just
by
like,
telling everybody what he's going to be picking. It's like the
uh-huh.
episode of Rock Paper Scissors and Hunter x Hunter. Literally just total fake out, like complete fake out. And
Hmm.
but Reagan
So
wins, and he gets the first run up on being able to
yeah,
see what's wrong with this girl. So he goes
on
in and essentially we get I dropped my thing. He goes in and starts talking to this girl, just sitting down talking, and this girl just gives this crazy story about how her
yeah,
dad beats her and is
and
crazy and tied her to the bed and wants him to break her out of the
uh,
bed and all this other good stuff.
yeah,
And he walks back out, and everybody's just like, this man's terrible. Why would he
this
ever
man's
do
fucked,
this? This woman is not possessed. Even the
dude.
good
I
master
have
Johto is just like, no, there's
yeah.
nothing wrong with this girl.
He's like, I sense nothing wrong with this girl.
And then
And I forgot who
Reagan,
said. I think Dimple said earlier on that he senses something, but it's very faint. But whatever it is, it's fucking wicked.
yeah, he starts
Like
getting that
it's
familiar feeling
yeah,
about what he was feeling years before.
yeah,
In the little backstory
yeah.
that we were given. But
Hmm. But
basically, the
but
girl
yeah.
faked out everyone.
And I
Um,
have it written here. Freddie Mercury is having a stress acid trip.
dude, he's just like, I don't hit her that
He
hard.
is.
Like,
I don't hit her. I never hit her, or at least not that hard.
dude, like you just admitted about hitting your
Damn.
child.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, but Master Johto is just like, don't listen to this man. This girl is just suffering from post traumatic stress disorder, and this bitch breaks through the window. Just
Yeah. Well, first Reagan susses her out. He's like, "Well, her story doesn't make sense." Also, she referred to her dad in two different ways.
yeah, and like
Then
then she just
shit
busts
goes
the
down.
glass, dude, and
Yeah.
all of the other people get a chance to uh, start taking a crack on getting this possession out, which in turn is we're about to find out how insane this person actually is.
Oh, dude.
But we'll get into it. We'll get into it. Just take a calm,
Yeah,
take a
yeah.
chill
I know,
pill.
I know, I know. I'm so excited to
Um,
talk about the book. Oh man.
but all the people get a chance in order of how they lost in rock paper scissors, or how they won in rock paper scissors in order of that, and it gets all the
Hmm.
way down to Master Jodo, and Master Jodo walks in, and dude,
Yeah, dude.
he gets possessed. Master Jodo, one of the top
It's
psychics
fucking
in the world,
so much
gets
for a top psychic.
possessed
I'm just
just
saying.
instantaneously and starts going on this crazy shit whip psycho version of himself.
Yeah,
Dude,
dude.
the animation
He's
and art
flying
behind this is
all over the fucking place.
crazy fucking
Yeah,
good.
it's great.
So he's rushing around the room, just whipping through. His body is contorting to the motions of how fast he's moving, and he starts getting up to all of the other psychics, and we get a nice little exorcism or depossession, whatever you want to call it, and
Yeah.
by Reagan. He
Yeah,
fucking knees
dude.
this guy
He
into
fucking gives
oblivion.
him the knee. And hey, to be honest, it was hard enough to get the dude out.
And he really did. And then the girl popped back up, and then the walks his dad or her dad just like, it's okay. You can stop doing this now. It's fine. I love you. If you're still there, I'm here. And this man gets gutted like a fucking
Yeah,
fish.
dude.
Just no remorse. But the girl's gone at this
Yeah,
point. It's just the spirit. It's like
yeah.
watching fucking
Mhm.
what's that's it's like watching The Conjuring,
Uh,
watching them do an exorcism, and it's just crazy how like
you can
amazing
also
this scene
say
is.
the Exorcist as well.
This scene in particular gave me really
Yeah,
big what do you call it? Devilman Crybaby vibes.
Yeah, I can see that, especially with what happens later on.
Dude, the murder
Um,
room in that fucking
yeah,
yeah. It was really
yeah.
good.
So we find out some information. It turns out the person possessing this girl is his name is Keiji Mogami, and in his time, he was a world-renowned psychic who then uh, who used his psychic powers as a hitman. He
yeah.
basically hunted under. He basically at first he was really well known, but then after his mother got sick, he started to become consumed by his hatred and fear, and so he took on a lot of more darker jobs, which included being a psychic hitman.
Yeah. It's
And he,
really good.
and his specific gimmick is he absorbs evil spirits for his own power. Like
Yeah.
he gains strength the more evil spirits he absorbs. And that's where he runs into Dimple, where basically 40 years ago, Dimple was just go chilling and whatnot,
And he
and
absorbs
fucking
half of Dimple's
Mogami.
fucking face.
Yeah, dude. Dimple gets nearly fucked.
Dude. But Dimple ends up
Hmm.
getting away and he starts telling the story about this guy and basically telling them that Mob has to go inside of this girl's body to confront the
Yep.
spirit. And at this point, I'm sitting there
Yeah.
like Team Mob. I'm just like, dude,
Yeah.
Mob's gonna fuck this dude up. He's got this. Don't even worry about it. And but
Dude.
this girl goes on this fucking insane killing spree on like most of the psychics in
Uh,
that room. And
yeah. And then also what I fucking love as well is Mogami starts twisting her fucking body and showing, listen, fighting her is not going to solve anything.
yeah,
You're not going
because
to be able to do anything
exactly.
while because I
So
can just kill her right now.
yeah, and
Like
Mob
I could.
realizes that through fighting him, he's fighting the girl and destroying the girl's body.
Oh shit! I just realized, dude. This is one of the episodes with the sickest fucking commercial transitions
What
because
is
it
it?
starts off as it's a picture of the girl in her room with like the mirror in front of her, and then when it cuts, it's then Mogami standing in the room. And it's all destroyed with the glass broken.
That's right. That is.
It's really
Ooh, it is a good
fucking
one.
cool.
But
Um,
we get into Mob using astral projection.
mhm,
So basically, they come up with this plan. Dimple possesses Mob's body through trust
mhm,
that he's not going to steal his body, and
yeah,
Mob uses an astral projection version of himself, which is a really cool
yeah,
version of astral projection. It's you
dude,
can
it,
it's so
his
powerful
soul
that
looks like
everybody can see it.
yeah, his soul looks like an axolotl. Like that's what
Yes,
it looks like to
that's what I
me.
wrote down too. Um,
Yeah.
but essentially, Mob just breaks into the barrier of the girl's body.
Hmm.
And it was such a cool ass scene, dude. Him just
Dude, and
forcing
here,
himself into the barrier was
uh-huh,
crazy.
it's really good. And then everything from here all the way through the next episode is fucking insane.
But by the way, before we get any further, we're almost at an hour 30. So,
It's listen, it's all good. It doesn't matter. Anyways, let's keep going.
but
Anyways,
anyway, he gets
um,
inside of the. It's just an epic body and mind split of pro-
yeah,
just actual explosive proportions.
yeah.
Um,
So the inside is cool. It's like this. It starts off as this white void,
yeah,
and inside it's just
God.
Mob and Mugami, and they start off talking.
And I
And
think it was
well,
you that mentioned this, but the outlines of the characters
they're blue
on the
instead of green.
outside, like through like normal life, they have green outlines in the show, which is kind of hard to see unless you're really looking or in particular scenes.
They're more prominent in some scenes than they are in others.
Yeah, because you can see it
But
really
most
good,
living,
like whenever they do in a later scene that I'll talk about later.
uh,
But when you got inside of the body, it's just blue. Everything seems like
Yeah,
it's just glowing blue. It looks really
and
good.
actually, this detail is also on Dimple as well. His outline is also blue.
Yeah, it's super good.
So I think that's just the outline for like spirits and souls.
Maybe.
Um, but so anyways, Mogami at first seems like a chill dude. He's talking to Mob, but he's just like, listen, if you want me out of this girl, you're gonna have to fight
Yeah, he's just
me.
like, hey, fight me.
And then we find out Mogami is a really twisted man. He is fucked beyond belief.
Dude, Mob gets
And
fucking bitch slapped. Like,
yeah, dude.
God dang.
And then in return, fucking Mob blasts his ass, like blows him apart.
God. Literally into
Dude, it's
fucking
so
morbidly, God, just abusive
it's
fucking.
it's really well detailed.
It is. That's as far as we're going to go with it. If you
It's
want to
fucking
see
it's so
it,
like,
watch it.
I wasn't expecting to see something that
It
brutal.
was so
I've heard
gory.
I watched this episode before and I forgot about that.
Dude, it's so fucking. It gets to
Hmm.
a point to where, like, and I'm really big into, like, gory movies and stuff.
Yeah,
The detail that was used in this scene was a bit much, even for me to look at. And I was just like, holy
yeah,
crap, the detail that
yeah,
they put into it. Because they got
yeah,
the
dude.
blood portions right, they got the dismemberments correctly. Like, it looked
Yeah.
like he ripped the fucking limbs off this guy. It looked insane. Um,
Hmm.
it was so
Um.
good.
So another thing I love about the scene is Mogami speaking his philosophy to Mob. So Mogami mentions that emotions is the source of all power, and he starts laying into him about how he should be how the more powerful emotions are the negative emotions, and Mob should embrace those negative emotions. And he's saying all this shit and he's like basically and he's constantly encouraging Mob, listen, how about you just see things how I see them?
Right.
And that's when Mogami decides, you know what, I'm gonna put you through some shit.
But let's just talk about Mob getting turned into fucking concrete and getting crumbled underneath
Yeah.
this man's fucking boot.
Dude, that's such a good fucking it's such a
God,
good fucking image.
you really start
Because
getting the gut punch feeling
uh
of how different the power level is
mhm.
between him and
Yeah,
Mob. And it
because
blew my
inside here
mind.
he says basically here you're only as strong as you think you are. However, he is still the owner of the domain, so he has complete control over what happens in it.
Right. And dude,
And so
he
he
let
reduces
Mob
Mob.
in.
He strips Mob. Mob is completely new, like just powerless, basically,
Yeah, this man
to the point
is
where he turns him into like a decaying statue, and
crazy.
it's such like a good fucking image.
So
And
basically,
we
he's
get
showing Mob different ways of using his psychic powers.
yeah,
And
and then
oh,
Mob wakes up. When the aspect ratio has changed, it looks like a movie.
it
It
does,
has the
dude.
letterbox effect.
God, it looks
And
so good.
one one thing I found I really love. So like the narrator, it's the voice of Dimple.
Yeah,
That's the narrator throughout the entire series. But here it starts off. It sounds like a narration, but it's Mogami talking.
yeah, it's Mugami
Like
just
he is.
talking through.
Uh
Basically, how long was it? 6 months.
in episode 5 we see it's 6 months it will spend in this world
This
that
fucking
Mogami has crafted.
mindscape that Mogami created
So
for
within
Mob
this,
in
but
particular.
this the yeah. So within here, Mob has no powers. He's just a regular person, and
He's just a
Mogami is playing it
laughing
off
stock
as if,
without his powers.
and Mob is playing. He's playing it off as if you had no powers, you wouldn't have the connections you did.
Right. Like he's
Which,
showing
and so
him just how empty his
I
life
guess we'll
would
just go
be.
seamlessly into episode 5 because it carries over pretty smoothly.
It does. It really does.
Um, but yeah, so he's got no powers, and things are especially shitty. He's being taken advantage of, bullied. Not even Ritsu is helping him.
Yeah. No, Ritsu's just
Um,
ignoring his brother. He never met the
Uh-huh.
Tomo Squad. None of his friends exist. He doesn't have a job, no powers, no nothing.
Uh-huh.
And
Um,
man,
and
basically his
how,
goal is to get Mob to give in to the anger
yeah,
that he wants
uh,
Mob to see.
hmm and in this entire thing, what I love is everything Mogami is saying. He's slow, like because it seems like Mob doesn't. Mogami's talking to him, but Mob can't hear. It's like almost on like a subconscious level.
Yeah.
Because
It
Mob, like within the reality, can't hear him, but like I think within that deeper level is where he's actually hearing him.
okay, so
And
let's just talk about one thing just really quickly.
yeah,
So this man forced this kid in here for 6 months into his own personal hellscape.
yeah,
And periodically, you would get the transition between the 6 months of him talking to Mob. So I'm
yeah,
thinking, how many months went by without him actually talking to Mob and then him just popping back up in Mob's head?
yeah.
Imagine the
That's a good
fucking
question. Yeah.
God, dude. Imagine the
Uh-huh.
amount of fucking craziness was going on in Mob's head at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
Like this man's in a deep
Um,
depression. All of his friends are gone. He has no powers. He's normal, like any other
yeah.
normal person. And this
Um,
bitch Becky cunt little girl.
yeah. So here we see Minori, and she's a fucking bitch.
Oh my god.
Um, uh, also, there's one thing I noticed as well. I don't know if you noticed this, but throughout this entire sequence, until things start to pick up towards the end, there's no music.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
noticed. Yeah,
ambience.
dude, it's just quiet inner monologue
It's
ambience. It's
it's
oh
so
man,
fucking
it
good
sets the
and it's
tone
effective.
so well for the
Uh-huh.
scene, and
Um,
like I said, this just gets so fucking crazy.
and there's one thing I did sort of note, and that is to me it seems very obvious that Mogami's vision of this world is very biased towards how he sees things.
It is. It's one
Because
hundred
even
percent
though because even
biased.
though because even though Mob even if Mob didn't have powers, if he decided to join the Body Improvement Club, I feel they would still take him.
Exactly. You know, it's
And whatnot. And
it's
like all that,
biased
like
to think that,
because like Mob already was a kid that didn't stand out. And he was already seen as a weird kid.
but he made friends
So
through it all. Like through all of the struggle,
yeah.
he still made those friends and he
Hmm.
still became the person that he is today. Powers or not, because Mom never really uses his powers.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It
he
would
would
have
have still
it
became
still
who he is. But see,
mhm.
Mogami feels like he strongly relied on his powers
Yeah.
and he was
Um
using that as a crutch for Mob, where in this
mhm.
reality, Mob was seeing it as a crutch. But in his reality to the real world, which Mogami was cutting off, it never really
Yeah.
was a crutch. So
Um
there's just so much
and
like
then
manipulation involved.
uh-huh. And then so here's where we find out he's been there for 6 months and Mob is absolutely dead. He's depressed as hell. It's
God.
bad. And here's where I love these little details Mogami gives about himself and his criminal background. And it's the implications of it. So he talks about how his mom became sick with mysterious illness, and how later on after her death he realized it was actually his own evilness and like corruption was affecting his mother. Like it cursed his mom basically.
Yeah. It
And at that point he decided, you know what, I'm gonna kill any psychics that use their powers for evil or are fakes. Because he basically gets his big like almost like a I guess you could say almost like a moral high horse.
pretty much.
And there's all this cool fucking imagery of fucking death and like war and hangings as he's talking about this shit.
It's really good. Like
It's really,
probably one of the
really
most
fucking
detailed
good.
backstories that we've had.
Yeah,
And it man, like I said,
and it plays
this
it. It
season
plays
got
it,
into character development so well.
and it is no jokes, no humor. It's played completely straight.
It is just
It
all the way
is
through.
it's so effective. It's
The
so fucking
tone
good. Like I
of
love.
episode 4 and 5 were so dense that
Hmm.
you weren't supposed to take anything else out of it. You were supposed to take
Yeah,
out that Mogami was a broken soul, and you got that.
yeah.
And then
Hmm.
come to find out that Mob is a stronger soul than Mogami.
Yeah.
Um,
So we get the scene. Mob's taking care of a stray cat, and Minori and a bunch of the other boys get in, and they start fucking beating the shit out of him.
yeah, just fucking waylaying.
And as this is happening, we cut back to Dimple and Reagan in the room, and it's probably been like I think they said like 10 minutes, which is crazy because the time the time difference between within Minori and then on what it actually is on the outside. And Dimple, I really like Dimple at this moment for Dimple as well because he lets everybody out because he's like shit's probably gonna get bad.
Um,
And
I'd have to
basically,
say in this scene, man, it gets so
yeah,
frustrating for me to see Mob in such a moral a moral breakdown of his character.
yeah,
So basically
because
it just he's choking a man out. Which is
yeah,
something
dude,
Mob would never ever
yeah, yeah,
do.
yeah. At this point, Mob is starting to become twisted, and
He,
Mogami's talkings to him over these 6 months is starting to get to him,
which
and
I feel like
Mogami's
it would
starting to
get
win.
to anyone at this point, dude. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
um,
because he is tired. He's reached that breaking point. All the other kids that pumped up kicks. You
yeah.
know,
And see, Dimple
all of
isn't
them.
even a person in this world, which was crazy, by the way.
Yeah, we would have
But
never went to the cult.
yeah,
So yeah,
but
but thankfully, and dude, the crazy thing about Mobius gets hit by a fucking brick and isn't phased.
oh no, dude, this man,
He's
he's
like
literally
bleeding. And he is
forcing this girl to apologize, and then one of her bodyguards busts a cinder block over the top of his head. He is
yeah,
gushing blood, and he's
yeah,
choking this man out, and
and then and
he
then finally,
we're getting into the
yeah,
fucking
it's fucking
awesome
great.
fight scene. I'm having such a
Yeah,
hard
dude.
time trying to
So
hold it back.
yeah,
So can we
so
please get into
Dimple. Yeah,
it?
so wait, we got to get into the other stuff. So Dimple steps in. He's finally able to get into in the mob, and he snaps Mob out of it. He fucking
He
decks
gives him
him.
the fucking uppercut of
Yeah,
justice. Like,
and as that's happening, he starts talking about all the different people that Mob has met, and how even though he wouldn't have psychic powers in this world, like nothing would change that. And it starts getting these flashes back to Ritsu, Teru,
yeah,
the
he's
fucking
getting
Tobo
all
squad,
of his
obviously.
fucking memories back.
And then
And
there's one thing really fucking cool I noticed. Then his phone rings, and it's Reagan. And what was rather
he,
interesting is on the outside world, Reagan got on his phone when Dimple went into Mob's body.
yeah,
So it started this awesome fucking thing of of Mob starting to slowly realize all what he has in his life and how things probably wouldn't be different any other way, and even they were, it wouldn't matter.
right. Like I
And
said,
he pulls the absolute fucking bro here.
he really is, dude. Dimple is such an awesome fucking guy that
Yeah,
he just keeps bringing this man back further and
yeah.
further,
And then
pushing away
then
Mogami, just
and
absolutely
then they
fucking pushing this guy out of his brain.
and then when Tsubomi's mentioned, that fully snaps Mob out of it.
Right. And he fully goes into one of my favorite parts about the buildup of this scene is when he mentioned the Body Improvement Club and he turned
Yeah,
into Mega Mode. He
yeah,
turned
dude.
into
He gets
fucking
buff,
Buff Mob and then
buff
back down
Mob.
into Skinny Mob. And then he's just going through all these emotions at one time.
Yeah,
And
and
now it's
so
time for Mob to go
mm, yeah,
fucking ape shit nuts,
so
dude.
Mogami's whole thing has had the opposite effect on Mob. Instead of weakening him and twisting him, it strengthened his resolve.
Dude, oh my
And
god, this scene is so fucking
so
crazy.
fucking good. And then,
God.
dude, fucking Mogami's hair has this really cool wavy animation.
It's got the wavy animation. Mob starts like opening up more of his fucking powers. He
Yeah,
literally busts Mogami to pieces from the inside out.
yeah,
And through doing that, he releases all the spirits that Mogami had stored inside of him out inside
yeah,
of this little girl's mind.
yeah,
So essentially, this girl is getting over flooded with fucking thousands of spiritual energies all at
yeah.
once. And Mob goes nuts.
Ham.
God,
Yeah.
he goes so
He
fucking
it's fucking
crazy.
and so shit gets really fucking insane here. It's I
Look,
like the way Mob looks here as well.
dude, yeah,
It's
definitely.
it's
Mob,
so
it goes
fucking
into such a really cool, like,
yeah.
I would say sparkle mode.
It's
It's like,
yeah, because it's not it looks like rage, but it's not rage. It's his they mentioned it in the anime, it's his positive emotions.
yeah, that's his positive emotion side.
That's what it is. It's all of his positive emotions, which is similar to rage, but is even more potent.
But as
And
he's
it's
going through all this,
fucking
he tells Dimple to leave. And he
yeah,
makes Dimple leave, and Mob is just taking on all these spirits by himself. And through doing this, he starts to struggle. And then when he starts
yeah,
to struggle, he finds the little girl inside of
yeah,
the mind
yeah.
and latches on.
Dude, this scene of him inside of like the giant evil Mogami and seeing all the different souls and whatnot, it looks like some 2001: A Space Odyssey shit.
Dude, it's
Of him
fucking
like reaching
crazy.
in and him feeling all that negative emotion, he even starts to like cry a little.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking good. And at this point, once he gets her out, we get 100, and oh man,
Dude, he
it's
cleans
so
up.
good.
As much as I would like to sit here and describe every detail,
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
Anyways,
And
so
it's
anyways, it's fucking crazy. He defeats Mogami. However, now that the evil spirits he's absorbed have lost their vessel, they've all been released.
yeah,
And so now Mob has to destroy all these fucking spirits, which I believe is mentioned that every object within this world that Mogami has constructed is an evil spirit.
it really
And
it is.
we and and we see that with all as the scene goes on, the city and the world itself starts to become more and more destroyed to the point where by the time he's done,
It looks like a
it,
doomsday,
it's
like D-Day
it's like
fucking
lava and shit. The core is
ground
basically
zero.
exposed.
Dude, I
It's
cannot
it's
explain to
really
you enough how amazing
fucking
this fucking scene was. Oh,
uh-huh.
man, it brought you on such a fucking course of holy fuck moments that you just
Yeah.
can't explain. The detail that was put into oh my god, every second of that scene just made you
Hmm.
edge of the seat. It was
Yeah.
so good. The city was getting destroyed. Mob was going ham, blowing up
It's fucking
spirits left and right,
throwing buildings and
throwing
shit.
buildings, throwing everything he could at people. Kamehameha waves.
All
This dude,
again, I'm so glad Bones got more budget for this season.
it was so good.
It,
This is
it's so
so
good.
so good.
And you think this scene would blow out their budget, but then you see this shit that happens later on. It's like, no,
No, it didn't.
no, it
It
did not.
really did not. They did
It
not blow
did
their
not.
budget. They must have had an insane fucking
Insane
budget.
fucking budget.
But
It. Oh man. So, anyways,
they end up getting
the world's been
outside of the
destroyed.
body. The
Um,
planet
Mogami
exploded.
escapes. Yeah, Mogami escapes. It tries to escape, but Matsuo captures him.
He come jar.
in the cum jar. He's like, "Yo, you get in the jar. You're a good find. I got a fucking shiny Pokemon, dude."
Yeah, he really did. I wouldn't really
He found
exactly
the
call
shiny.
him a shiny. I'd call him more of a dark
He's like he's
Pokemon.
like he's like he's like a legendary Pokemon. The
He-
motherfucker caught himself a Darkrai.
but
um,
but anyway,
but
Mob did
so
it. He saved the
Minori,
fucking day.
yeah, Minori wakes up and Mob asks her like, "Yo, are you like,
Are you
were
like
you
this in
actually as fucked up
like real life?
in
Like,
real life?" And we find out she doesn't read. I don't know if you've seen it on the on the Discord, but look at what I have her labeled as.
let me see. What was her name?
Minori.
Is it on the? Oh, here it is. Possessed
She's
bitch.
yeah, possessed bitch.
Possessed bitch. But hey, man, the Mega Becky
Yeah,
changed for the better.
yeah,
She
yeah.
changed for the
That's
better.
when she's like, she starts apologizing to him, and Mob is like, "Wait, this one thing I realized, and that people, they can change."
Right.
And it's such a good fucking little scene. Ah, man. Um,
But
but anyways,
basically
it
the episode
ends off.
ends, the father's okay. They're in the hospital. They go back to the office like nothing happened. Like just
Mhm.
another
Just
day.
another day.
And it
And
moves on into episode 6.
there's one thing. There's one interesting thing that does happen, and that is, he doesn't. The father doesn't recall there being a boy there that saved his daughter. So instead, what he does is he ends up sending the cult a donation,
Was it the
and
cult that he got the donation
yeah, yeah.
through?
Because Masato is there with the little cult at their restaurant, and they receive a big donation.
Holy shit, that's right. I
because
forgot
he
about that.
because he doesn't know who this kid is, but so he tries to look it up, and he finds the little site,
Dude,
and he sends a large sum of money to this cult.
it's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
just the
So
whole
episode
episode was
six.
insane. Um,
So and so you think this would reach the emotional peak of the series? No, we haven't reached our emotional peak yet.
Not
Because
even
episode 6 rolls
close.
in. Not even
Episode
close.
6
Uh,
rolls in with
you get Reagan Lore.
the dynamic trio being split up.
Yeah, we got Reagan Lore.
God, his fucking
And
water
it's
cooler museum.
yeah, man. He's
um,
we open on a call center that Reagan used to work in, and it's basically just him. He decided, I'm done with this, and he leaves. He decides to rent
that's
out
the
his
same
office space.
office. That's the same office.
Yeah,
Um,
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like he gets his office, and he's trying to think of, what should this business be? And he looks down and he sees there's a little um ad for like spirit medium shit, like fucking rosaries and whatnot.
yeah, pretty much.
So we come back to present day, and Mob is starting to grow a lot more confident. Even Dimple is starting to notice.
Oh yeah, Mob is, and it's because of who he's surrounded by.
Yeah,
I think a lot of his strength really comes from Tomo Squad and Reagan.
yeah, dude, they're
Them,
fucking
just them
those are the
two
two.
alone is just
Mm-hmm.
enough for Mob that it's insanely crazy.
Uh-huh.
But we get the start of the episode of course we get Reagan lore, and then on top of that the Tomo Squad gets a whiff of missing birthdays.
Yeah, there's a bunch of fucking birthdays happening, and the Tomo Squad, for everyone whose birthday is mentioned, are fucking getting pumped.
And
And they're like,
so
we're all
in
gonna have a big birthday
yeah,
celebration.
so they end up going to, what is it, like a little karaoke? No, it's a little pizza shop that they go to, or
Yeah,
something like that. I think it's
yeah,
pizza.
something like that.
That they go to a
Mhm.
pizzeria and have a good little birthday lunch, and they start
Yeah,
planning to go to a karaoke.
karaoke.
And
There's one interesting thing about the Tomo Squad I noted here, and that is they start to wonder what Mob's goals are.
what now?
Um, they start to wonder what they just start thinking about what Mob's goals are because with him just joining the body improvement club, they're like reflecting on Mob's progress basically,
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
and wondering what his end goal is. Like they did sort of like
They're just
thinking
trying to
oh
figure
like
it out. But
what he's
nobody
yeah
understands Mob ending goal, but Mob, and he
yeah
doesn't talk about it yet.
yeah
Um,
yeah. But
but
at this point, Mob's starting to realize what it's like to be with friends,
yeah, and he's starting to like it. He
and
plans to go to the
it's
karaoke event, and then his fucking phone rings.
yeah.
And who is it?
It's fucking Reagan. He's like,
Fucking
"Yo,
Reagan,
we got a
dude.
job."
Like, hey, let's go. And Mob's like, hey, can you do this by yourself today? And Reagan's like, why? You're not busy. Just come on. And then hangs up on him.
Yeah.
Like,
hmm
what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
So Mob
Yeah.
shows up and he just murders a very familiar ghost. We're not even going to get into that one. That was such a stupid tidbit.
Hey, yeah, it's the frozen tofu ghost. Come on, man.
It was so
Definitely not.
stupid.
It's definitely not the same dude from the first season.
It definitely is not. No, not at all.
No, he's got a frozen tofu in his head.
It's so stupid. But anyway, Mob just walks in, obliterates him, and then they leave. And
Yeah.
Reagan starts pushing the
Yeah.
wrong fucking buttons.
Button. Yeah, dude. And it's fucking
He
it's starting to really get to Mob.
and Mob
Um.
literally blows up
It's
on Reagan in Mob's own
yeah.
way. He doesn't like
Yeah.
blow up on Reagan, but he expresses his very, very strong feelings towards Reagan, and
Yeah. Um.
tells him to fuck
And
off, essentially,
yeah. Yeah.
in Mob
So
language.
what I like about this is, of course, Reagan's being a little bit of being a bit of a jerk here, but
Yeah,
it's rather interesting because Reagan's just not used to Mob actually now having
a
a
social life.
social life. 'Cause at this point, Mob has been at Reagan's beck and call because he's had nothing else better to do.
And Reagan hasn't
But
seemed to understand the growth that
and
Mob has in the
that
past few months.
because he doesn't really because like other than knowing that Mob's in like the body improvement club stuff, he doesn't know that Mob takes it super seriously and
Yeah,
has actually formed bonds with these people.
yeah,
And he
and
especially as what one thing strikes a nerve with him is that he really does not know how important the body improvement club is to Mob.
yeah, he says that they're not your real
hmm
friends. Drop them.
Yeah,
If there's anybody who's trying
yeah,
to get in the way of you working, get rid of them. And oh my
yeah.
god, this made me hate
Uh huh.
Reagan so fucking much. I'm like,
hmm
you're such a dickhead. Why would you even say that?
Yeah.
Like, I was just,
Uh huh.
I was on a roller coaster of emotions toward Reagan because
Uh-huh.
I've grown to
And
really
that's what
like Reagan.
I think that's what they're going for here is they want you to start feeling like somewhat conflicted because like you're seeing another side of Reagan that you've not, and especially with later on in this like an episode, the next one, you start seeing a side of Reagan that we've never seen before because he's just been like the goofy con man
Yeah.
who's the mentor, his mom's mentor.
And a good
But
one at
now his
that,
character is yeah
like a really
yeah
good
his
mentor.
character is like starting to get a lot more rounded now.
Yeah, and
Um,
you start
and it's
seeing a lot
so
more of what Reagan actually is, and he's a lot.
uh-huh.
Reagan is for himself. He cares about
Yeah.
himself a lot,
hmm
and
So,
tends to forget about everybody else around him.
uh-huh.
And that's
So,
essentially what they were going for.
yeah. So
And
we
they
start the
played it.
next day,
Oh yeah,
and
and he doesn't
Reagan's
show
starting
up
to
to work.
feel like maybe I said a little too much. Like
Yeah, he
I'll
really does
just
realize that he just fucked up.
yeah yeah. He's like I'm gonna take it easy, just sort of maybe just let Mob do his thing and just we'll just see how it goes.
So Mob
And
doesn't show
so
up to
Mob is
work.
also yeah he doesn't show up to work because Mob's decided he's going to take a break, and he realizes he needs to think. Like he at this point, he's like, it's not just. It's not like it's not that it's like, oh, I don't like Reagan anymore. I hate my master now. It's he realizes that he needs to start thinking about about what he wants and start thinking for himself. Because at that point, he realizes he's been following Reagan blindly,
Right. And he starts it really isn't about Reagan, which is really
Yeah,
cool. Reagan doesn't
it's
diminish him anymore
yeah,
at all. He doesn't look down on
and
Reagan at
Mob,
this point. He's just
yeah,
trying to understand himself better and not
yeah,
be around the influence that Reagan was putting on him. And
yeah.
man, this is the part of the character development that I just absolutely fucking love.
Uh-huh.
That they put so much thought into Mob's character that they really haven't
Hmm.
strayed from how he actually feels about people and his friends.
Yeah.
It's not
It's
like
just
to the point I hate him.
and
It's I
that's
still
that's what I
care
like
about my
about Mob.
master.
He's not vindictive. He's not anything like that. He's literally just like he's realizing that he's realizing how important it is now that he needs to start thinking about himself and what his
Right.
priorities are.
And then we
And
get the
he's
debut that
just
Mob owns a PS4.
yeah. Um
Sorry.
and I remember I like this thing. Like, he tells Ritsu, "Is like, yo, like maybe I need to think for myself." And so Ritsu is just like, "Yo, you just want to play some fucking video games?"
And Mob's
And
just
Fox
like,
like, "Yeah,
yeah. And we get to see his epic PS4
uh-huh,
controller.
yeah, dude."
I fucking love that they used a
Um,
PS4 for
yeah,
the game
um,
console that they owned. Which it
and
didn't say
then
PS4 on it, but you could obviously see that was PS4 controller.
yeah, and
Um,
what I like as well is there's a slight parallel now because now we get the other side, which Reagan thinking about himself and whatnot. And so Reagan's starting to think, like, even though Mob's not here, there's still things that I can do by myself. And he starts going throughout and taking jobs that he knows he himself can do.
right, which are just
And at
absolute
this,
stupid
and
jobs.
even at this, mhm. But either way, at this point, like you can tell Reagan's just trying to fool himself. He's just trying to like
Reagan is
play off
delusional
how he
and he's getting
feels.
lonely and he's trying to keep himself
Yeah,
busy. That's
he's
essentially
just
what
trying.
it
He's trying
is.
to downplay. He's trying to downplay his feelings.
So we get
And
this epic
mistaking off.
montage of them doing their
Yeah,
own things away from each other, which is
and actually,
really cool.
Reagan's business is growing. Actually, like
He's
he's
getting a lot more
getting
successful.
a lot more success,
Yeah.
and things are actually looking up for Reagan. And there's this actually really cool scene where Reagan sees Mob out, and he sees how Mob is actually having fun. Like he's
And it
seeing
destroys
Mob in a
him.
way he's never seen, and it destroys him because he's just not used to seeing that. And fucking Dimple shows up, and he's like, "Yeah, Bob's doing great.
Yeah.
He's
He's doing even
it
better
sounds
without
like he
you.
just
Like,
like, yeah." And
it's like,
Reagan is just trying to play it
damn.
off. He's like, "Oh no, yeah, no, that's great for him."
Like, I'm happy for the guy.
And
Fuck off. Like,
you get to like, dude, the fucking telepathy club guy is also kind of a bro here because he takes Mob out to go do karaoke because Mob missed out.
yeah, but Bob was not prepared. And plus, we get to see
Yeah,
Mob's
dude.
fucking epic tambourine skills.
Tambourine skills. He can't keep on beat, but my man, he's trying.
He's just there. The
But yeah,
woman's just like, you just can't keep beat at all. He's like, no, not really.
yeah.
He said he just
But that's
owned it.
where and that's where I sort of explained to you the little tidbit of in a lot of Japanese karaoke bars. They have there's your lead singers who are doing the karaoke, and then usually you have the support, and the support is everybody else who's not involved with the active karaoke, and they'll do things like stay on the rhythm of the tambourine, or like supportive like yell, or basically act as like a support role or a backing vocalist
Right.
almost. And it's a really nice little cultural tidbit. But anyways, Reagan decides we get this really fucking depressing sequence where Reagan opens up. It turns out it's Reagan's birthday,
Yeah, which is
and
sad.
he
There's a lot of
checks.
birthdays. Like,
Yeah, yeah. It turns out today's Reagan's birthday, and he
and
opens up
he,
his Facebook,
oh,
and he's got zero birthday notifications from people.
which is weird because Facebook
Yeah,
usually has a shit ton from people you don't even know.
yeah.
It's
But
like,
that's just to show
what?
that it's like no one like it's no one really is like friends with it. He doesn't really
Yeah.
have friends.
He never really did
And then we
because he
get
shut
this
out everybody for his business.
and then we get this other email. He gets a birthday email from his mother.
Oh.
and it's just telling him about how, hey, are you still working at that shady place? You need a more secure job. And she gives him an ad for like a call center,
That just broke
and
him.
it's
It
just fucking broke him. So he decides, you know what, I'm gonna go to the bar,
and so
and
we get to see some of Reagan's somewhat
bar,
friends. Uh,
his bar buddies,
his
and
boozies
yeah,
is what I call them.
yeah, and he's just like, oh, you know, they're here, like they come to me with their problems or whatnot, and I give them advice. You know, it's
Yeah.
pretty good.
And then
And he
we
gets
also find
down,
out that Reagan is an extreme lightweight.
dude.
He goes on a fucking
He
midlife
orders
crisis.
a fucking lemon sour,
And it's
and
don't have any
he's
alcohol in it. Like,
yeah, he's sitting there drinking it, and it's just like I have a really interesting note here is that Reagan is actually quite lonely without Mob. And actually, when he was talking with Mob in that scene, when Mob realizes he needs to take a break, Reagan may have actually been projecting himself, like been projecting his feelings on the Mob.
right,
Like basically saying like how he actually feels without putting Mob into consideration.
right.
And so he starts to reflect, and he's become sick at the realization of how lonely he is.
So he decides to do something about it. He says, "I'm gonna
Yeah.
be someone."
Uh,
So he wakes up the next morning, brushes his teeth, gets the fuck over it, and he gets that really awesome fucking Saul Goodman energy.
yeah, dude.
He just
It's
goes on a fucking
showtime.
shitstorm of
Yeah, dude.
getting shit done. Really cool montage again. I really love the montages inside of this anime. Because it actually does.
Yeah.
It's a really good representation of what's getting done um,
Uh-huh.
in between scenes, like the months that you're not seeing or the weeks that you're not seeing. It really goes in detail without actually going into detail. Just a little tidbit I wanted to add.
Yeah. Dude, he's got a fucking setup that would make most streamers jealous.
Dude, he had fucking 6 screens and
Because
he killed the
you get
player
six
killer.
monitors for he 6 monitors with 6 different accounts going
Dude,
on.
at the
He's
same
pulled multiple
time.
all-nighters and bought a bunch of OP items with fucking microtransactions.
Dude, and he's
Um,
broke, but
yeah.
I want to talk about the counter, the Reagan's little success counter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which was really, really neat. We get another counter other
Uh-huh.
than Mob's basic
Dude, I what I
explosive
love about the
counter.
season is dude, what I love about this season is there's a bunch of counters for different characters.
Yeah, there really is, but we'll get more into the other ones
We'll
later
get more into that in part
because
two.
they get good.
But
But Reagan's
Reagan's
success
fucking
counter gets to 100%. And Reagan gets his big break.
yeah.
So basically now Reagan's on TV.
Yeah.
He gets this offer to be on TV as a professional
Mhm.
psychic to
With other
perform,
psychics.
yeah, to perform an exorcism, or well, I guess that's technically next episode,
Yeah.
but we'll just go ahead and kind of discuss it. He gets
But
introduced
yeah.
to a show, to where he has to exorcise a spirit within a child, and but that's basically the end of the episode. I got a really,
Yeah.
really funny
So
ass note
it's
at the end of this. But if you have anything else you want to explain, just really quick
I know
before I get into
I
it.
was just gonna say that the episode ends with because like Jodo is the other psychic on the show.
Yeah,
And this is where Jodo, is basically talking to himself. He's like, yeah, actually, the reason you got invited on is because I recommended you, and I'm going to use this as an opportunity to humiliate you because he basically heard about how he got kneed by Reagan
yeah.
and he wants
In the scene
revenge.
to where he got
He is
possessed and
fucking
Reagan,
man. Jodo's fucking petty.
he's such a
Fuck
dick
Jodo.
cheese, dude.
Yeah.
But I had this really funny ass
But,
note. I was like, Reagan is pumped, but will it turn out to be the most embarrassing moment of his life? Find out next episode on Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I don't know why the fuck I wrote that, but it's so
Will Reagan have his
great.
career destroyed?
Find out next time on Dragon
Time
Ball
in Dragon
Z.
Ball Z.
Dragon,
Reagan gets
Dragon, I'm up the
fucked.
dragon, Dragon Ball Z. Like, it's,
Yeah. But yeah. But that's episode 6. That's the end of part 1. Next, the next episode will actually have an extra episode. We'll have an extra episode covered because it turns out this season has 13 and not 12.
yeah, I did
So
forget
it'll
about
be
that actually.
one more. So the next part will have one more episode to it.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a bit longer.
But
It's
anyways,
worth it. It's worth it.
that's the first 6 episodes of Mob Psycho 100 season 2. What do you think of the season so far, Red?
Well, seeing as how I've already watched the entire thing,
Yeah. Well, I know, but I'm saying at this point of what we've covered,
dude.
what
Okay, I will talk about the feelings that I had towards the end of this. I'm like,
okay.
this, I don't know. It went from a show to where I didn't think I was gonna like it to
Yeah.
something that I'm obsessed with. So, given
Hmm.
that fact, I would say that it's going pretty well for me.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah, dude.
love it. I love
Um,
this season. Really got in depth with the few
which
things that I actually like from anime: graphics,
uh
character development, and just overall crazy fucking fight scenes.
uh
Or whatever you call them. It was
there's fucking
Omami
insane.
or something like
The
that.
the animation style whenever shit gets really crazy is Sakuga.
Sakuga?
Sakuga.
Sakuga. Okay. So there you go, folks.
Yeah.
Another
Yeah. I mean, we discussed that.
elder weeb
Oh, yeah.
fact for you.
That was discussed in our last
Was it?
episode on
Okay,
Mobster
I didn't
100.
realize,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
oh, yeah,
But yeah,
yeah. Uh-huh.
actually, that's something I
Yeah.
noticed as like a theme in a lot of the anime we've been covering here. Is like it's a lot of anime you've not watched, or anime you probably wouldn't that you thought you probably weren't going to be interested in, but then we actually sat down and started to watch them, and you started to get super invested in them.
Well, no, like I think this one's the
Like,
only one that I just couldn't get into. The rest
yeah,
of them I've been
well,
like gung ho
like
about.
Dret might. I was more so saying like My Dress Up Darling. Like you probably wouldn't have watched it.
Well, no, like it
Um,
was just something that was mentioned,
or
and I like
yeah,
slice of life. I don't know where you got off
yeah.
thinking I
I,
didn't.
oh no, I know you like slice of life, but every time I tried explaining this series to you, you seem to not be very
Well, like it was
interested in
because it
it.
was about cosplayers, but I
Yeah,
did say it's a
hmm
slice of life.
but
I will give it a shot.
yeah,
Where with
yeah.
Mob Psycho, I was like,
Uh,
I don't know about this one. Like, I started watching
hmm
it and I'm like, I don't know about this. And where when we watched My Dress Up Darling, I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. I like this a
yeah,
lot.
uh-huh.
So, like, it started off
Um,
different for me for this one. So,
yeah.
um, but what about you, Bobster? What do you think about the series?
Fucking yes, it's Mob Psycho 100. It's good. It's great. Um, Still, like I guess you said, it's probably also within my top list of anime. Shit's really good. I'm glad they got more budget. Like, and I'm also glad that the third season coming out is going to have a whole lot more fucking budget as well.
Dude, I can't wait for season
Um,
three
I
because
can't wait
now that I've
for
watched
season
season
3.
two, I'm just like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh, I gotta wait for season three. Like,
yeah, we won't have to wait much longer.
dude, I don't
But
want to wait
yeah,
right now. What do you mean?
yeah, and but no, it's one of my favorites. I love the character writing. It's all just really really fucking good.
It's like everything about this
Mob's
is really
character,
good.
I like Mob's character arc throughout the series in particular is really fucking good. It's just really solid. Um, really a lot of emotional depth. Just it's just all I can read. How many times can I say it's good?
without
there's not. I
any.
can't say it enough.
I'm in the
I,
same
I
way
can't.
about
I
it.
can't. I
And
can't say it enough because it's just
for
really good. It's one of those really special anime that you gotta watch.
yeah, for everybody who is keeping up with our videos, we really do appreciate you. We do recommend you keep up with us on this one because it gets even crazier in the second season.
Yeah,
Or even
yeah,
the
man.
second part of the second season, where the next one will
Yeah,
have more
man.
episodes. Uh, it gets really good. It's worth the wait. It's worth keeping up with us. It's worth watching. Please go watch this. We support the original media on everything that we do. Please, please, please
Yeah,
go watch it. It's so good. And obviously, we're not sponsored or nothing like that. We're just here to promote how good anime is and
yeah.
how
Well,
good,
just
like, how we just want to expand how we feel about anime
yeah,
with the world. And that's why we just started up
yeah.
this channel to begin with.
Uh-huh.
We wanted,
This is it's
go
the way
ahead.
I've always seen it. This podcast is a well, one is a way for us to watch more anime. Two, it's a good way for me to rewatch certain anime I've already seen, and also expose Red to to other anime or an older anime he's not seen before.
Right. And,
It's just
with that, we do need to end the episode because it has gotten quite
we do.
lengthy.
It's just anyways. So without further ado, I'm Bobsto, the Elder Weeb.
And I'm Red, the bald headed wonder,
You just got done watching the
the
Anime
anime
Boys.
boys. See ya.
See ya.